Cold seeped into everything. I came up out of the dark with my head splitting, drunk, I thought, a night that had run too long, my soul logging in somewhere far from where it should be. There was a sound near me, a padding, and then light, and a face, and the inside of a mud brick room with yellowed newspaper pasted on the walls and a bare bulb hung from the rafters, like something out of the last century. Transmigrated? I'd been a top school graduate, a sales lead at a Fortune 500 firm. 8 hours earlier I'd closed a 60 million order, drunk too much celebrating, and let friends talk me into a place I'd never been. Now I'd woken in a parallel world. April 1979, at the foot of the Changbai Mountains in the far northeast, with a long stretch of memory that wasn't mine folding into my head. The body's parents had been swept up in the 10 years' troubles and sent to a farm for reform. The boy had been billed on an uncle's family in Kaoshan village, where the aunt was sharp-tongued and grudged every mouthful a half-grown lad ate. So they'd packed him off to mind the forestry station and draw the extra ration. A spring rain had given him a chill, days flat on his back, no one at the station, and the body had finally given out. I never asked to transmigrate. Before I could settle into the new skin, a string of beeps went off in my skull. Myriad Worlds Exchange System, host locked. Loading complete. Congratulations, host. You've obtained the Myriad Worlds Exchange System. Newbie task detected. Please complete it promptly. Source of life. Begin by taking nourishment. Reward on completion. 1 basic marrow washing pill, 3 boxes of milk. I'd read enough web novels in my last life to know a transmigrator standard kit was a system, and sure enough, there were perks. The task, as the system put it, meant taking warmth and nourishment from the person trying to revive me. A young woman in a black coat was holding me up, doing what the old folks back home swear by, pressing the chilled, near-frozen against living warmth to coax the breath back. I'll spare the leering the moment seemed to want. What matters is it worked, and I came round, and the task pinged complete. Reward delivered. 1 basic marrow washing pill. That's it, I thought. System, mind the process, not the result. Note, task is repeatable. The status laid itself out for me to read. Host, Chin Chong, age 19. Assets, 0, strength 6, agility 4, speed 5. Will 50. System level 1. Use basic marrow washing pill to raise attributes. Confirm? I confirmed it once, felt my body shift, the hunger easing a notch. Marrow washing complete. 3 attribute points, freely assignable. Familiar as a video game. I poured all 3 into strength, clenched a fist, felt it firmer. Strength 9, agility 4, speed 5. Newbie guide complete. 5 million myriad value awarded. Myriad value bought goods at the system mall, and the higher the system level, the more unlocked. At level 1, my choices were thin, daily necessities, rice, flour, oil. Rice cost 20 a caddy, white flour 30, oil 50 a liter, 5 million, spent carefully, only a few hundred points worth at a time, a week's eating if I was tight. Correcting myself, the readout gave me 500, not 5 million. Enough, just for a lean week. Then the other young woman, in a red sweater, brightened as if she'd remembered something, and said quickly, Dongmei, a woman can't give that kind of nourishment unless she's born a child. The one in black, Li Dongmei, looked baffled. No one in the village taught such things, and had only thought to try it in a panic to keep me alive. She looked down, saw my color was back and my expression entirely too pleased with itself, understood what had and hadn't happened, and shoved me off with a kick. You filthy rascal. I save you out of kindness and you take liberties. My will, dragged back to the present, was reluctant to leave the warmth. I'll admit being alive felt good. I got up off the floor, a hand on my backside, and looked the two over. Country girls, both, hair in braids tied off with wool, faces smudged with cold dust, days unwashed. Bedraggled, but you could see they were slim and good-looking under it. Li Dongmei, the one who'd revived me, stood with her brows up and her cheeks still flushed, glaring, teeth audibly grinding. The other, in a red sweater and blue trousers and cloth shoes, stood a little off. Stared at like that. Both went uncomfortable, Li Dongmei most of all. Shameless rascal, heartless cad. 1 year, and you've forgotten us. Remembering the mortifying scene, she snatched up a stick and came at me with a wild flailing. I bolted, and we ran a lap around the room's center post like some opera chase. Starved for days, no strength in her. She gave it up panting, hands on hips, glaring. Stand, stand still, I'll beat you dead. Only a fool stands waiting to die, I said. Then, catching myself behaving badly, meant to apologize, but couldn't resist adding that I'd been half-conscious and hadn't known where I was. Shut your mouth. Her nostrils flared, her eyes darted, and she hurled the stick. It caught me square in the forehead, body still weak. I went down. Careless. Didn't dodge. You filthy rascal, I'll beat you dead. She grabbed the stick again and charged. Sister May, don't. The quiet one in red finally spoke, hurrying to put herself between us. Spare him this once. Shall we? What are you doing? You saw what he is. Get out of my way. Confused, pleading for a cad? I'm not pleading, Lin Hui said quickly. I'm reminding you why we came to Kaoshan village at all. That stopped Li Dongmei cold. They'd come all this way to find the man Lin Hui was betrothed to. Me. On the floor. If she beat me to death, Lin Hui would be a widow before she was a wife. Li Dongmei dropped the stick like it had burned her. They'd slipped away from home in secret, strangers here, and couldn't afford trouble. You're right, shall we? My temper got the better of me. It's this shameless rascal's fault. She gave my backside a couple of light kicks. Hey, get up, stop playing dead. I lay still, hearing every word. Newly transmigrated and handed a wife. Shall we? The one in red. Though the one in black wasn't hard to look at either. I was off wool gathering when the quiet one, at a loss, looked back to Li Dongmei. Sister May, could you try once more? Li Dongmei blinked, followed her glance, and balked. The system pinged. Repeatable task. More pills. More milk. Congratulations. Congratulations. All the way to the 9th time, the way these things are written. I'll leave it there. By the end, I'd had my fill of reviving. And when Li Dongmei saw my eyes open, she wrapped her coat tight, red to the ears, mortified. She'd only done it for her friend's sake, and grudged this rascal every bit of it. Awake. Then, quit playing dead, walk it off. I grinned like a fox in a henhouse, then pulled myself together, stood, brushed off the dust. Thank you. Before I finished, she'd lost patience, seized my ear, and hauled me to the room's one table. Quit playing the scholar. Stop talking nonsense. You're Chin Chong, aren't you? How'd you end up like this? Kaoshan was 100-odd households. The boy had known every young face in it, and these two were plainly outsiders. I nodded through the ear pain. I am. Who are you, and what do you want with me? Good, you admit it. Then this is yours, isn't it? She let go and signaled Lin Hui, who drew a craft paper envelope from her trouser pocket and set it before me, disappointment in her eyes. I opened it, skimmed the letter, and with the body's memory understood. I and this Lin Hui were betrothed, only waiting to come of age and marry. Then the 10 years' troubles fell, my parents were implicated, the house sealed. The boy sent here for reform to an uncle's table of cold looks, hungry. To keep from holding her back, he'd written telling her to find a good family and marry. The memory hadn't fully fused, and grimed as they were I hadn't placed her. Chin Chong, why did you do this to me? Lin Hui's voice caught. You said you'd marry me. Have you changed your heart? Found another woman in Kaoshan village? I could have slapped myself. A woman this good, thrown away like that. What a waste. System task, a change of heart, or a heart of stone. Abandon the broken engagement. Comfort Lin Hui and make her laugh. Reward, 1 set of bedding, 3 million myriad value. Hold to breaking it off. Reward 5 million myriad value, 500 yuan cash. A wage worker that year made 30 a month. A village family scraped a few dozen together in a hard year. 500 was a fortune. And the boy's situation was 4 words: destitute, dependent, penniless. The station housing wasn't his. The 12 yuan monthly subsidy went straight into the aunt's pocket. He lived on scraps to keep his sister under the uncle's roof. With nothing to eat, the choice should have been clear. System, you've a cruel streak. I thought, right. Surely I wouldn't turn down 500 for a woman? That'd be idiotic. I steadied myself and looked up at her, tears brimming, the face going from stranger to familiar, and then an ache I couldn't account for. Words came to my mouth and died there. Zhuanzi. I'm sorry. That set Li Dongmei off. Sorry's worth nothing. Do you know what Zhuanzi went through to see you? From Teeling to Kaoshan village, hopping a greenskin train, then a coal truck, an army lorry, a neighbor's ox cart, 3 days and nights. Thirsty, she drank cold water. Hungry, she gnawed a corn bun. Off the train, she slept on a haystack, watching out for bad men the whole road. And the letter you sent. Her parents tried to swap her in marriage to a near 40-year-old bachelor. The bachelor, it turned out, was Lee Dongmei's own brother. A swap match, each girl to be married into the other's family. Lee Dongmei to Lin Hui's drunkard elder brother. Sister Mei, don't say it. Lin Hui choked. He must have had his reasons. That only stoked Lee Dongmei hotter. She scanned the room, found a hatchet on the wall, and snatched it up. I'll geld him here and now. Cure him of ever harming another girl. Lin Hui stepped in front of her, took the hatchet, set it on the floor. Stop, this isn't his fault. Let's go. She turned for the door, tears finally breaking loose. A person's heart is flesh, after all. Hearing what she'd endured, something turned over in me. This was 1979. 2 girls running off from home like that. The hardship of the road, the dangers. That's love, I thought. I crossed the room in 2 strides and braced my hands on the doorframe. Hear me out. I wrote that letter so as not to hold you back. I couldn't manage my own next meal. How would I feed you? I never thought it would bring you trouble, drag you all this way to suffer for me. She tried to push past and couldn't, the tears running over. I see it now. A man who can't even protect his own woman is no man at all. Every word from the gut. To hell with 500 yuan. If you don't mind that I'm poor, I'll give you a good life. I'd beg in the street before I let you go hungry. And it's late. You'd be caught by dark on the road back. And there are wolves in these woods. Grown men won't walk them at night. As if on cue, a wolf's howl rose from the far trees. Lin Hui shivered. I took the moment, drew her in, and wiped the tears from the corner of her eye. Zhuanzi, I'm sorry. All my fault, making you come so far and suffer the whole road. If you're still angry, curse me. You can't, can you? Hit me then. Can't do that either. At last she laughed through the tears, blew a little snot bubble. We'd known each other since we were small. The second meeting wasn't so strange after all. You said it all yourself. What's left for me to say? Since when are you so glib? I never noticed before. Task complete. Reward credited. Hidden task complete. Stay true to your heart. A personal storage space unlocked. A bonus 2. My will was pulled into a white space. Initial size, 10 square meters. Expands as the system levels. Room sized, openable anytime. Carried with me. Perfect for stowing things. I took the chance to swallow all 9 basic marrow washing pills from the earlier tasks. Marrow washing complete, 27 attribute points. This was the forestry station, deep in old-growth wilds. By day it was bearable, but at night you heard wolves, and worse than wolves, black bears, and deeper in, the gold-tipped one, the northeast tiger. The station kept a dozen-odd hunting guns and ran wolf calls. The last days the others had hauled timber down and left me alone to watch the place. Every point of strength was a point of insurance. I poured them all into the body. Strength 20, agility 12, speed 13. My flesh felt markedly stronger. Note: complete 1 more repeatable task, and the system reaches level 2. Again? System, have a little decency. I groaned inwardly. That May 1 was clearly a powder keg, and how would I even raise it? System, hypocritical humans. My will returned. Lin Hui was still against my chest. She seemed to realize Li Dongmei was right there, and that they were grown girls now, not the children who'd shared a quilt without a thought, and she straightened up fast, pinching the hem of her coat, shy and tense. It's cold in here. Sit, both of you. I'll get the fire going. I went out to gather fuel. The 2 were left alone. Xiaohui, you're not really planning to live here, Li Dongmei said, unwilling, still itching to thrash me. He's right. Our dry rations are gone. No money. No grain coupons. Where would we go? Lin Hui had run from home. The wider world was strange ground with nowhere to land. And what if you stay? You saw, the boys got nothing. They say a man needs the 3 turns, 1 sound to marry. The 3 turns, 1 sound. A watch, a bicycle, a sewing machine, a radio, the era's measure of a groom's family, 3 or 400 yuan to assemble. Him? He can manage 1 sound. What? Poor enough to rattle. Lin Hui laughed behind her hand. She'd never cared about any of that. Poor's no matter. Poverty doesn't put down roots. Work steadily and life gets better. My word, your heart's big. Tie yourself to him and you'll be drinking the northwest wind. Don't tease me, Maisie. When we played house as children, weren't you the one always fighting to be his bride, saying you'd be the second wife when you grew up? Li Dongmei reddened. We were children. Words like that don't count. I came back with 2 baskets of split wood so we'd not have to go out at night, lit the stove and the brazier, and the room warmed fast. I set a kettle on to boil and filled the thermos. April or not, the mountains were bitter, frost on everything by dawn. A stomach growled. From noon, they'd had half a corn bun between them. Lin Hui flushed and said nothing. Then Li Dongmei's joined in. You're hungry, I said, and felt foolish saying it. It was mealtime. From my pocket, I produced 2 boxes of milk. The systems conjured to hand by a thought, a thing neither of them had ever seen. What's this? Lin Hui asked. Hard to explain, and the system was nothing to share lightly. It's good, see the white straw? Poke it in the hole and drink. I demonstrated and passed it to her. Hungry, smelling the sweetness, she sipped. It's sweet, it's good. Li Dongmei didn't hesitate then, copying the straw, eyes lighting. Like condensed milk, but better. Have I never seen it at the shop? Of course she hadn't. It wasn't of this era. I reached for a cigarette out of habit and found nothing. You said we knew each other as children? What? You don't recognize me. I've an impression, not much. Years apart. Fair enough. Let me see your bird. Li Dongmei. A familiar shape surfaced in memory. A child forever yanking the boy's trousers down to study. Puzzled why he had what she didn't, threatening to pull it off and plant it on herself. 18 changes, indeed. I'd never have known her. Remember now? Called me your bride at house play. And after all these years you call me Li Dongmei. She rolled her eyes. No man was any good. You're a cadre's son, supposedly. How'd you end up like this? How will you feed Lin Hui? The bodies. Parents had worked in a government office, crossed a superior, been labeled rightists, sent to the great northern wilderness for labor reform. She wasn't wrong. Pretty words don't fill a belly. Wait here. I went to the next room, to a big wooden chest with some grain in it, but the cloth sacks long empty, and slipped into the system. Sensing host's need, maul open. At my level, rice, flour, oil, eggs. I exchanged 5 caddies of rice, 10 of flour, 3 of eggs, 1 of oil. Done. 500 deducted. Balance 300. 1 mouth fed the whole family before. Now 2 more mouths. And to live here, I'd need to earn myriad value. A ping. System task. Per guidance. Within 30 minutes. Kill 1 wild hare. Reward 500 myriad value. Accept. A pillow when I was nodding off. Accepted. Navigate by the system within the time limit. A holographic map appeared in my head. Route marked. Target 1.5 kilometers off. I came back into the room carrying 3 cloth sacks and a used 4 bottle filled with rapeseed oil, the way the brigade doled out oil. This'll cover a few meals. I'm heading out for some meat. Bar the door and don't come out till I'm back. From under the bedding, I dug an old fowling piece. Weak, but enough for hares. Living alone in deep wilderness, a man needs a gun to hand. If you need to relieve yourselves, do it inside. You're both women, no need for shyness. I shouldered the gun and slipped out while there was still light. By the time they'd registered it, I was already climbing. Lin Hui, uneasy, hurried after me. The sun was near the ridgeline, the sky going red, night close. Watching me draw away and afraid of getting lost following, she called after me. Chin Chong, be careful, come back soon. I stopped, looked back, waved. I know. Remember what I said, bar the door. She went in, set the crossbar. The house was sturdy, walls of stone and packed earth, 1 small window for air and watching. Even a wolf or a bear couldn't easily get in, and there was an escape tunnel dug beneath. Li Dongmei opened a sack and jumped. Rice, flour, oil, even eggs. In that year, villagers ate mostly corn flour. White flour was for festivals, rice scarce. Eggs the hardest currency of all, hoarded to trade for money or coupons. Where'd he get all this? Lin Hui wondered. He'd nearly starved, yet had stores. What's it matter? Enough for 2 or 3 days. Li Dongmei found the iron pot and set water to boil. Out in the trees, the holographic map hung in my head. a red dot for the quarry. The system's something. Hunting's easy with this. This was Changbai. The mountains brimmed with game. Pheasant, hare, boar, roe deer, and a good shot brought meat home every few days, and herbs besides. Wild ginseng, gastrodia, romania, all worth money. Diligence and nerve meant you'd never starve here. Inside 50 meters I slowed and unshouldered the piece. First the powder, tamped down the barrel with an iron rod. Then the iron shot. Pellets of iron, plain to look at, but with the powder's blast behind them they sprayed out in a killing cone. Short range, widespread, perfect for hair. The flaw was real. These things were unstable, prone to bursting. A lad in the village had blown out an eye with one. The light failed. Tracking the red dot I closed to under 10 meters, crouched, held my breath, and crept to within 5. In the brush, a dim shape, a pair of long ears upright. Northeast hare, strength 1, agility 15, speed 20. Against my own attributes the gap was wide everywhere but strength. But I had the gun, and the two-legged beast's edge is making and using tools. I picked my moment and squeezed. The report rolled out, powder smoke hanging, the shot tearing a swath through the brush. I pushed forward, parted the grass, the hare's legs still twitching. Task complete. 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Reward 500 myriad value. Level up, system level 2. Will cap plus 30, now 80. Skill gained. Scouting. Sharpens the host's sixth sense. Warns of danger early. Detects quarry. Improves with level. Learn? Of course. The world opened up. Far-off insects. Beetles crawling the grass. Earthworms underground. An owl settling in a crown. With this, hunting would be simple. System, what's Wolf for? Activating certain skills costs well. A mana bar. In other words, that refills on its own. Pleased, I stowed the hare in the space and started back. Carrying it would drip blood, and the wolves have keen noses. Dark by now. Inside, the two were cooking, flour and eggs, a dough-drop soup, water boiling, drops mixed, waiting on me. By an oil lamp Lin Hui paced, uneasy, peering out the little window into the black. A knock. She went to the door, reached for the crossbar, then remembered my warning. 2 women alone. What if it were someone bad? Her hesitation set Li Dongmei on edge too. She grabbed a stick. Who? Outside I held off speaking, testing whether they'd keep their guard. Then, open up, it's me. Lin Hui frowned. Something off in how I'd said it. But the voice was mine. She lifted the bar and drew the bolt, and the sight of me let her breath out. You didn't rush to open it. Well done. I held up the hare, still warm. Extra tonight. There's meat. Her face lit. Back home, half a year without it. A hare this big, that's several meals. Li Dongmei came over, eyes shining at the sight. Her family was no better off, or they'd not have tried to swap her in marriage. Not bad. A few years apart, and you've grown some skill. She took the hare, set it on a board. This wants bleeding now, or it won't taste right. Up came the hatchet, down in one stroke, and the poor hare met its Louis XVI. She skinned and gutted and jointed it, deft as anything. That one, I thought, is no gentle soul. Meat and dough-drop soup, but no staple yet. Lin Hui mixed dough for flat cakes. Li Dongmei heated oil and dropped in the washed hare. The hare I'd brought back ran 4 or 5 caddies, fairly fat. Under the hot oil the meat hissed, and soon the whole room filled with the smell of it. While they cooked I dug out a hammer and nails and patched the drafty gaps and the wobbling door. The station was deep in the hills, no electric line, so after dark it was the oil lamp, its smoke a little choking. Half an hour on, the hare came out into an enamel basin, steaming. Lin Hui cracked 2 eggs into the pot, stirring them even. On the table a plate held 7 or 8 finished white flour cakes. Watching the 2 of them cook, I felt something turn over in me. This was making a home. No wonder the rich kept more than one wife. Back at their place a disaster year meant not just no meat, but not enough grain. We sat cross-legged on the Kong, the lamp between us, the flame ticking. Both of them stared at the basin, swallowing. A stomach growled, loud in the quiet. What are you 2 waiting for? Eat, before it goes cold. When they still didn't move, I put chopsticks in their hands. Eat. Lin Hui held hers and still couldn't quite believe it, like a dream. They'd fled famine all the way to Kaoshan village, found my place worse than home, found me near starved on the Kong, and figured a hard life ahead. And now white flour, rice, eggs, stewed hare. It sat uneasy with her. Knowing her temper, I knew she'd not lift a chopstick till it was clear. Eat easy. The flour and rice and eggs and oil are what I'd saved, not stolen. Li Dongmei shot me a look, not quite buying it. Food, and you let yourself starve like that? I'll say it again. I had a fever and couldn't get off the Kong, and the whole station was just me. You could have hung a cake round my neck, and I'd not have had the strength to turn it and eat. That settled them, and they ate. Half a corn bun since noon and a box of milk to dull it. They ate like it was a feast, the hot cakes with egg dough drop soup and the soft stewed hare. Lin Hui got through half a cake and stopped, setting the rest back. They'd run from home. With a foothold now, she was already planning ahead. Don't fret, either of you. Old saying, live off the mountain by the mountain. Know where this is. Changbai. The woods are thick with game. Hare, boar, roe deer. Put in the work and you'll take them. Not just meat. Wild greens in spring, mushrooms in summer, ginseng to dig. A dozen kinds of valuable herb the apothecary pays for. Settle in. The old village secretary's easygoing. He won't trouble you. And as for food, I'm a grown man. I can keep you both. I picked up the half-cakes they'd set aside and pressed them back into their hands. Eat. First light, I'm into the hills. I won't let you go hungry. That eased them, and they finished. White flour cakes, egg dough drop soup, stewed hare. If every day could be like this, how good that would be. Fed, Li Dongmei scrubbed the pot. Lin Hui took a chipped enamel basin and a rag to wipe down the Kong mat. I mixed coal ash with water to a paste and banked the stove. In the Northeast, they call it sealing the fire. The ash burns slow and the stove stays warm all night, so you don't freeze. Spring or not, after dark the station dropped to 4 or 5 degrees. It's late. You're both tired. Turn in early. Li Dongmei, done with the bowls, pointed at the Kong. You've only the one set of bedding here. Likely a louse nest by now. So where do you mean for the two of us to sleep? 3 people, 1 set of bedding. How to split it? Lin Hui and Li Dongmei had each slipped out of home with a canvas satchel. A few clothes, their letters of introduction, nothing more. Li Dongmei thought a few seconds and had it. Leave the bedding to Lin Hui and me. A grown man can sleep on the bare mat. Why should I sleep on the mat? Then you tell me. 1 set of bedding. How do we sleep? Or we all squeeze in. I offered. They say a strapping lad's a stove in winter. I'll lie in the middle and warm you both free. A swish. The Kong broom skimmed my scalp and flew past. Lucky I'm quick. A bachelor knocking at a widow's door by night. No good in mind. Li Dongmei snapped. Lin Hui, at some thought of her own, went pink in both cheeks. I'd only said it to run my mouth. 3 in 1 quilt would be chaos. Besides, I'm a gentleman. Actually, I do have another set of bedding. Or, we listen to you and squeeze in. Lin Hui said, plainly not hearing me, only thinking of the cold and the risk of freezing without a quilt. And I wasn't a stranger. She'd just keep her clothes on. Done, I said, no hesitation. At that, Li Dongmei, banking the brazier on the floor, shot up. Wait, you said there's another set in the room? Did I say that? Damn my mouth. My ears are fine, don't play the fool. Ah, that, a bottom of the chest thing? I only just remembered. System, serves you right. Against the north wall stood a cement board chest. I opened the lid, made a show of rummaging, opened the space with a thought, and came out with a brand new set of bedding for the Kong. Classic Northeast style, flowered cover, soft cotton. Li Dongmei stroked it. Their bedding at home was sewn from emptied flour sacks. No wonder you wouldn't bring it out, saving it for a wedding. Doesn't it hurt to use it? Few families would. Bedding was patches on patches, new cloth only for weddings. What's to grudge, used for my own woman. And this is nothing, when the 2 of us hold our wedding. We'll have 3 spreads 3 covers, and the 3 turns 1 sound. Lin Hui went warm at that. A few years apart, and I seemed much changed, glib, but not like a rascal, each word landing somewhere true. You 2 take the new, I'll take the old. That settles it. I dragged the old bedding to the back of the Kong, leaving them the warm head end, a gap between. With women there I'd not stripped down, and just lay down as I was. Several days with no real rest. Both of them were yawning, but they didn't rush into the quilt. The road had filled them with grime. They'd not soil new bedding. A rustle of clothes coming off, then a slosh of water. I tipped my head and looked. A sheet had gone up on the clothesline, 2 feet off the floor, the lamp throwing their shapes onto it. A bath behind a screen. I kept my eyes to myself and asked the system, half joking, whether it had any grand skill, say, seeing through walls. System, just say peeping if you mean peeping. I'm an educated man. System, spring's here, all things stir, the breeding season again. Fine, you've got me. System, heh, no such skill. That'd be useful. System, bear with it, truly don't have it for now. Behind the sheet, they were scrubbing each other's backs, a rough wash with what they had. We eat about the same. How are you bigger than me? You're no smaller, Li Dongmei said, and there was some teasing and a yelp, the way girls who grew up together carry on. Horseplay, a knock, and the screen sheet came down. The lamp caught them a half-second before Li Dongmei blew it out, and the room went black. They pulled clothes on in the dark and burrowed into the warmed quilts. A mountain night is very still, only the wind now and then. How long, I don't know. Half asleep, I felt someone crawling toward me. Chinchong, are you asleep? Lin Hui's voice. In a singlet and shorts, she'd hesitated a long while and decided. She lifted the corner of my quilt and slipped in, her hands going for my waistband. The warmth woke me clean. Xiaohui, what are you doing? Not shy now. She gathered her courage and said what was in her heart. Dongmei and I came to find you. My parents will surely come after. Before that, I want it settled between us. We'd long been betrothed and were grown. One step left, and it was a matter of time. Even when her parents came, with the fact already made, they'd have to accept it. You're sure? I said, serious. I may be at this station my whole life. Marry a man and follow him. Even if I'm poor with you all my life, I won't regret it. Let me be your woman. I'll wash and cook and bear you children. A woman's heart laid bare like that, no man could be unmoved. I drew her in, and the lamp stayed out. System prompt, repeatable task complete. A clear wind and jade do meeting outdoes the whole mortal world, the old line goes. After, I slept hard and woke to daylight, an arm pinned. Lin Hui, her head on my shoulder, hand on my chest, like a drowsy cat. I pinched my own thigh. It hurt. Not a dream. With my free hand, I wiped a tear track from the corner of her eye. Li Dongmei, who'd slept at the Kang's head, surfaced from her quilt. Days without real rest had her sleeping so deep her eyes wouldn't focus. She rubbed them, looked again, and saw me with Lin Hui in one quilt. You shameless wretch, taking advantage of Xiao Hui while I slept. I'll fix you. Up with the Kong broom. At me, swinging and cursing. Lin Hui woke and threw herself between us. He bullied you, why are you blocking me? Dongmei, it's not his fault. I was willing. You what? Li Dongmei froze, doubting her ears, looking at the two of us in one quilt, the thing plain enough. You two got together that fast? Lin Hui, flushed, gave a small nod. Reckless last night. Maybe, but she didn't regret it. Li Dongmei was lost for words, and seeing me hem and haw. Shameless. Handed it, and you took it, every advantage, and what's left to say? You're not dressed. I offered helpfully. She'd come out of the quilt in just a singlet. She registered it, dove back, and pulled her clothes on in the dark of the bedding. Lin Hui dressed too, changed out the marked sheet, and took it with the quilt cover to wash. The rice was cooked, the deed done. Li Dongmei climbed down to make breakfast. Rice porridge, last night's cakes, a bowl of stewed hare. Lin Hui coiled her long hair and tied it with red wool. In the countryside, the sign a girl has become a married woman. Over the meal, Li Dongmei's eyes swept the two of us like a searchlight. Lin Hui kept her head down. A child caught at something. Li Dongmei slapped the table. Enough. It's done, and you were betrothed long ago, nothing shameful. Xiao Hui's a good woman. I'll say my ugly piece first. Bully her, and I'll finish you. Don't worry. I'll be good to her. What do you take me for? What? Humph. The pair of you are like Neza churning the sea. Why are we both children? What grown person does that? I'm sleeping right there on the Kong, and you two hold your wedding night. She blamed her own dead sleep for missing all that noise. Lin Hui went redder, a ripe peach you could pinch water from. Li Dongmei sighed. With the fact made, staying on wasn't right. Since it's settled, you two live well. I'll tidy up and head back to Kaoshan village, see if I can join the production team. Not a villager there. Off the team rolls. She'd have to earn work points to feed herself. Anything but home and Lin Huey's gambling mad eldest brother, the swap marriage they'd both bolted from. Dongmei, what are you saying? We agreed to stay together, Lin Hui said quickly. Strange ground. Where would you even go? Just settled, and her sworn sister leaving. She wouldn't have it. Li Dongmei didn't want to go either, but felt she must. You two are like that now. Me sharing one Kong would only be in the way. By day fine, but 3 on 1 Kong at night. She was plainly one too many. She knew well enough what grown folk did, having stumbled on it more than once. I set down my bowl. I'd already worked this out. Here's a thought. There's a room on the west side. Clear it, fix it up, relay the Kong, and you can stay as long as you like. 2 rooms with a central hall between. We could all live together. Didn't the papers say some village ran a reform and got made a model, spreading nationwide? By the timeline, this was 79. The co-ops would soon be dissolved for the household responsibility system, the big pot commune giving way to reform. In my last life, I'd liked history, the big events I mostly remembered. You needn't join the production team, just stay at the station. I promise, while I've a mouthful, you've a mouthful. Warm words, but something in them rankled her. Humph, I've hands and feet. Who needs you to keep me? After breakfast, I cleared the west room. The body had lived in the east room. The west had stood empty, and the door let out a smell of mildew. The mat thick with dust, the ceiling festooned with cobwebs like a spider spirit's den. Changbai, a forestry station, summer wants for nothing but bugs, worst where no one lives. I lashed a dry pine branch to a pole and cleared the dusty webs, opened the window to air it, and the sun made it bright. Some Kong boards had collapsed and wanted replacing. Rats had got into the flue in the long cold, and it all needed clearing and the rat holes plugged. At the stove, I pulled the cover and a black shape darted in. Quick, I jabbed the pole after it. With a screech, it leapt out of the firebox. A big rat, triangular head, 30 centimeters with the tail. It hit the floor and bolted for the door. I swung. It dodged the killing blow, twisted, sprang a meter, and snapped from my fingers. A regular spirit, this one. As I turned, a hand shot past mine. Fast, sure, hard, and clamped the rat's neck. It squealed and writhed. Biting me, are you? Li Dongmei, hearing the racket, had come and grabbed it barehanded. One hand on the body, the other on the head. A hard twist, crack, and it went limp, flung outside. No fuss. A grown man can't handle one rat. I scowled. The woman was fiercer than most men. She walked the room. Old, but livable, run from home. She only wanted a place to eat and sleep. I came back to myself and pointed at the Kong. Some boards are gone. The station storehouse has spares. I'll fetch a few. First pry it open and clear the soot, or the flue chokes and the smoke won't draw. Laying an earthen Kong means folding a smoke channel back and forth with mud bricks from the firebox out, so the heat runs even. Head and back of the Kong both warm to the touch. That's a good Kong in the Northeast. Botch it and the head scorches you while the back stays icy and the smoke won't draw. Seal the fire on a winter night and the smoke can't get out, and come morning a whole family's been suffocated. As I spoke, Li Dongmei rolled up the mat, took the hatchet, and began peeling the mud skin off the Kong in slabs. What are you doing? The flue's full of black soot. No work for a woman. I'm not so delicate. I can do the dirty heavy work. I can't just sit and eat for free. And you, little Cadre's son, never tasted hardship, you wouldn't know how. The body's parents were officials, too busy, and had left him with grandparents in Teeling, a village called Haitunzi, Li Dongmei, Lin Hui, and he had grown up together there, the village calling him Little Cadre for the Cadre household. Cadre nothing. A fallen phoenix is worth less than a hen. I'm here for labor reform, long since gone native. I took the hatchet and pried up the collapsed boards. Easy work, with the strength the pills had given me. Dirty heavy work is no job for a woman. Else what are a man's 2 stones for? If you can't sit still, mend my trousers. Once the Kang's done, I'll take you both to Kaoshan village to register with the old secretary. And I stripped off the trousers I had on, long johns under them. The station was cold, but for midday, and morning and night wanted thick clothes, autumn pants and wool pants both, or your legs paid for it later. Li Dongmei took them, saw the worn-through tear, and at some thought went pink and laughed. Men, all thumbs. torn like this and won't fix it himself. She went to the east room for needle and thread, found the needle, with the thread end at her lips, and patched it, choosing a scrap of cloth to size and stitching it close so it wouldn't wear through again. On the floor, Lin Hui worked at the marked sheet from the night before. The body had always made do. Men mostly do. A bachelor's chimney smokes seldom, a widow's door draws talk. A man won't cook for one, sleeps under a quilt gone sour without minding. So a man, whatever the season, wants a woman by him to wash and scrub. Li Dongmei, stitching, sat on a low stool and watched Lin Hui with a sly smile, nudged her with an elbow when she got no answer, glanced toward the west room where I was deep in the flu, raising a black fog, then shut the door, leaned in all gossip, and groped at her in the old teasing way. I'll leave the byplay there. Lin Hui squirmed. There's no one here, just tell me, I want to learn. That was as far as it went. She'd come to find me, and the rest is theirs. Pestered like that, Lin Hui threw up her hands. All right, stop. Then she winced, hissing a breath. After last night she ached, and that morning hadn't dared move much. Li Dongmei eased off, glanced at the door, dropped her voice. Just tell me. I won't say anything. They say it's an interesting business. Hadn't eaten pork, but had heard the pig grunt. The married women in the village, idle, loved to cluster and gossip, and the talk turned salty fast. The Northeast's own Arantai had its share of body bits, passed down because plain folk liked them. Lin Hui, both cheeks red, couldn't bring herself to it. When you've a man of your own, you'll know. I need to wash the sheet. No more nonsense with you. Humph, no fun. Next time you two do that, I'll lie at the foot of the wall and listen. Have you no shame? Childhood joking habits, unchanged grown. They'd say anything to each other. The blood on the sheet still showed after a long scrubbing. Lin Hui went through the jars on the cement chest. Xiangzi, is there soap at home? I came from the West Room. No, the team had handed out 2 bars last time. Thinking I had a half bar and couldn't use it all, I'd given it to my uncle's daughter, my cousin. Soap gone, next handout half a month off. No soap, soda will do. Soda? What for? In memory, soda was for steaming buns. No, to wash the sheet. Soda cuts grease, she explained. Before the 80s, life was hard, planned economy, supplies tight. Daily goods, beyond what the brigade doled, came by coupon. Soap coupons, washing powder coupons. People wouldn't spend on them and use soda for clothes and hair. Cheap, strong, but it bit the hands and peeled the skin. You reminding me, wait. Her words had reminded me to lay in daily goods ahead. A thought into the system. Sensing host's need, the mall will generate the goods list. Current myriad value, 800. Soap 5 a bar, washing powder 10 a bag, toothpaste 5, toothbrush 5, and on through shampoo cream. The myriad flowers, cream, lipstick, towels, toilet paper, and many higher grade things that belong to a later age. Shampoo, body wash, face wash, each priced in points. Some names showed green, some red, like reading a stock board. Per your level. Green is exchangeable now, red needs a higher system level. Look but not buy. If I could get those higher goods, then once policy loosened they'd sell fast at market. System, a human cub blocker, just 8 points. Care to learn more? System, what you call a rubber, young folk run hot. Accidents happen, best be ready. Not needed. This system had a coarse streak. At my level I could manage soap, scented soap, toothpaste, enough for now. Exchange complete. Balance 582. The goods appeared in the space. I came back with a cardboard box and set it on the comm. All things I'd saved, bottom of the chest stock. I'd near forgotten till you said. Lin Hui dried her hands and looked. Soap, scented soap, toothpaste, brushes, new towels, and big fritter. The clam oil sticks, white columns of oil in plastic, for rubbing chapped hands, common before the 90s. The old folk cracked their hands working the spring fields. Nights they'd soak them soft, rub on the oil, and warm them by the stove to ease the splits and heal them faster. My, you know how to keep house. Quite the hoard. Li Dongmei leaned in, held a stick of it to her nose, breathed deep, then peeled the plastic and rubbed some on the back of her hand. Girls love a scent. I noticed her eyes redden, tears near. It's only mending a pair of trousers. Why cry? I didn't soil them, to wreak you to that. Get off. She glared, then couldn't help laughing. A year apart, and the fellow only got less serious. My pa favors my eldest brother in everything. Once I bought a stick of this with my own saved money. When he found out, he gave me 2 slaps. A village notion, not all of them, but some. A daughter's a money loser, married off in the end, schooling out of the question. She and Lin Hui were the proof, both families swapping daughters to get their sons' wives. I'd had the gist. Society long freed, and still this feudal stuff, the son's life over the daughter's. Rest easy this time. A stick each, you can rub it on your backside for all I care, I won't hit you. Truly, for me? A grown man, why would I lie? She lit up, rubbed on more, then caught herself. Wait, you took advantage of me again. A man does like playing father. I cleared the black soot from the flue, swapped the broken mud bricks, plugged the rat holes with mud and stone. The Kaoshan station usually housed 20 or 30 men, their quarters spread out. The storehouse kept spare dried Kong boards for whoever's Kong collapsed, and the trowels, wheat straw, and chaff cutter besides. The others had gone down to haul timber, with spring near and the fields to be turned, and the old village secretary minding me. A reform man, he'd not sent me to the fields, leaving me to watch the place till they came back. With everything to hand, I mixed the cut wheat straw into the clay, filled the seams between boards, and smoothed the surface. Then lit the firebox and shoved in a stump to bake out the damp. Not bad, little cadre. That's journeyman work, here in the village, Li Dongmei said, pleased at the new Kong. A place to sleep, at least, though it wanted a day or two before anyone could lie on it. So we'd still crowd one Kong meanwhile. I rinsed the clay off my hands in the red enamel basin. My trade's a mixed bag. I've had to learn a bit of everything. She held out the mended trousers, a double patch, sturdy. The crotch is fixed, try them. I brushed my hands on my shirt, pulled them on, worked my legs. It really is good having a woman about. Mending, washing, cooking. She smiled. A few years apart, and I seemed much changed. Glib, never serious, but tender now, and more capable. From my shirt pocket, I took a watch. The one valuable thing left when the house was sealed and the property seized. A Shanghai brand. Only the body now, the band lost. No money to fix it. Past 10 in the morning. I'll go round the woods, see if I can bring back more meat. Don't wander off, I told them, dressed, and took the fowling piece. Weak, but better than nothing. Be careful, come back soon. I know. The station had no wall. I crossed to the hill opposite and was soon into the trees. Changbai, named for the white pumice and snow on its peaks. 1,000 years of snow, 10,000 years of pine, straight up to the world's first summit. An eternal white range, 2,000 kinds of plant, 1,000 of wild animal. The people had lived off it for generations, digging herbs, gathering mushrooms, hunting, riding out even the 3 years of disaster by working the mountain. A forestry station, as the name says, is a felling ground. The slopes were giant trees, cut and hauled down to build the new country. With people about, wolves, black bears, the gold-tipped tiger kept their distance, though not absolutely. The station's Wu'er had near been gutted by a wolf in the time it took to relieve himself. Care steers the boat 10,000 years. Working the mountain wants nerve and caution both, and a careless man can lose his life. The piece on my shoulder was a homemade thing. 1 barrel, a crude firing piece, a wooden stock, no rifling, range only a dozen-odd meters, all of it riding on the spread of the iron shot. The nearer slopes had been thinned of their thicker trees, saplings left. Over 2 hills the timber grew taller, the woods denser. System. Host is hunting, open scouting mode. It will consume well. Wandering the whole range could mean a whole day's nothing. I opened it, and as my mind focused, my sixth sense swelled. Every slight stir around me clear, as if I were inside it. And a blue bar appeared, ticking down a point a minute. Well, 79, 78, 77. 5 minutes on, I stopped, eyes on the brush ahead, and lifted the piece off my shoulder. I couldn't see it yet, but I felt a pheasant crouched motionless in the grass. I tamped powder, tamped shot. 20 meters, outside the killing spread. I closed it, eyes fixed, a pheasant resting, red comb, black head, a white ring at the neck, watching the gaps in the leaves, ready to flush at a predator. 10 meters. I raised the muzzle and squeezed. The report rolled. The acrid powder hung, birds scattering from the trees. The pheasant's head was pulp before it could move. I hung it by the feet to bleed. Sizable to look at, 2 or 3 caddies, and once plucked and gutted, pitifully little meat. People who've never had game believe the talk of how rich wild pheasant and hare stew up. Nonsense. Stew wants fat in the meat, and a lean cut cooked with no oil comes out like dry kindling even from a 5-star hand, with a gamey, earthy tang besides. For good eating you want a village hen, stewed with mushrooms, cake stuck round the pot rim. That's flavor. But in this era, meat beats an empty belly. I drew the pheasant into the space and went on. Scouting truly served. A Leon, another find, a hare grazing. One shot, dead on the spot. With the skill, half an hour brought a haul. 3 pheasants, 2 hares. Enough for days. Beep. Per the system's mark, proceed to a kill target, 1 hour limit. Reward, 500 myriad value and a type, 98 sniper rifle. Fail or overrun, an extra 300 myriad value deducted. Accept? The 98K. Anyone who'd played the Battle Royale game knew the name. A German piece, 7.92 by 57 millimeters, about 1.1 meters, for kilos, 5-round internal magazine, bolt action single fire, effective range 500 to 800 meters, accurate, hard-hitting. Against it my fowling piece was a fire poker. With that, hunting would be child's play. If I completed the task, fail or overrun, and I'd lose 300 besides. System, you're raising the difficulty. System, relax, just a little peppa, simple. Little peppa? Not setting me up? System, absolutely. The 98K, a classic sniper, a man's dream. I accepted. The holographic map rose. Peaks, trees, the route. The red dot 2 kilometers off, not far. I shut scouting. 40 minutes running had taken my will to 40, and a wave of fatigue came with it. Over the slope into a valley, the ground flattened, a clear stream winding through. Thirsty, I drank my fill and looked round. The red mark, under 50 meters now. A boar's no hair, the eye should catch it. 30 meters on I found the target, and my smile died. In the trees stood a boar over 300 caddies, 2 great tusks, rooting with its snout and rubbing its bulk against a pine. A waist-thick pine swaying under it, dried cones raining down like hail. In the northeast, they say first the boar, second the bear, third the tiger, for the danger they pose. This one was full-grown, big, aggressive, a hunter would weigh it twice. Boars rub pines to coat themselves in resin, then wallow in mud. Over time it cakes into a shell that wards off insects and adds armor. A walking meat shield tank. A fowling piece won't punch through. System, you call this little peppa? System, correct, you're 19, it's only 3. Damn you, that's getting me killed. System, fortune favors the bold. You think every task's as easy as the milk one? The system isn't your wife, it won't hand you freebies every time. I grimaced, let that thing hit me, and I'd come apart. Boars are omnivores, eat meat as well as plants. A lone wolf won't close on one. Kaoshan saw boar maulings every year, and the brute turns fiercer at the smell of blood. The homemade piece would only graze the hide. Chongbai boar, strength 45, agility 10, speed 15. Against me, more than double my strength, speed and agility closer. I was working out how to handle it. Hide, take it from behind, no chance head on. When, system prompt, host has been countermarked by the target. 27 minutes remain. What, countermarked? A bad feeling. I looked up and the boar had found me, and the next second it charged. Damn it, no retreat now. I leveled the preloaded piece, locked on the charging boar, squeezed. The report, the blue smoke, the shot striking, and the boar paused a beat, untouched, and came on. Smoke, no wound. I turned and ran, standing meant dying. It tore past nearly against me and snapped a forearm-thick birch like a chopstick. Crack, and my scalp prickled, cold sweat down my back. Now I'd seen its strength. I dodged, opened the space, and a threaded pry bar was in my hands. The stations, for levering timber and stone, brought along to guard myself. The piece was useless. I'd have to fight. Both hands on the bar. When it charged again, I brought the 10-odd caddy steel down on its skull. Clang. The shock numbed the web of my hands. Hurt. It shook its head, squealing, but came on, charge after charge, and I dodged, swung, drove it back. With the marrow pill's strength, every muscle put out real force, and after a few exchanges I was steadier than scared. Man and boar, a standoff. Then it recovered and came tusks first. I swung on reflex, but it had wised up, twisting clear rather than take it head on, and my sweating palms lost the bar. It hit the dirt. Damn, finished. System. Hidden task complete. Lone brave one. Facing a strong quarry alone, daring to fight head on. Skill gained, Baji Quan. The full form folded into my head, muscle memory, as if born with it. Baji, hard openings, hard strikes. Inch cuts, inch seizes, fierce, explosive, made for close work, simple and brutal, force like a snapped bow, a step like thunder. Its 6 openings and 8 strikes break a foe's guard with crown, embrace, wind, and chop. Power reaching the 8 far quarters, hence Baji, the 8 extremes. Bare hands against a fully armored boar. Exhilarating, damn it. Right, let's test this Baji on you. The boar charged again. I didn't dodge, I went in. Slipping the tusks, my right arm whipped up like an iron lash, a facing gate crown elbow into the side of its neck. It staggered. I closed, dropped my shoulder, and drove a lean-the-mountain shoulder hard into its ribs. A dull crack, 300 caddies went over. The gidge moves did the trick. After all, with Baji I held my own head-on against a grown boar. But it rolled up fast, eyes gone red, into a frenzy. The strikes hadn't done much damage, only enraged it. 300+ caddies came at me again, force undiminished, blows faster. A dozen exchanges and I began to flag. The gap in stamina too wide. I made myself cool. Keep this up and it'd run me to death. Then my eye fell on the boar's rump. That pair of round, swinging globes, and a certain African plains hyena flashed through my head. I grinned, set my fist, and drove a punch up into them. It went down shrieking like a slaughtered pig. So that's why the spotted one downs prey so fast. I rode it down, fist after fist with terrible force, until blood ran from its mouth, and it lay still. Then I slid off, sprawled on my back, heaving, my shirt soaked, sweat still beading my brow. Dangerous, nearly tossed several times, but a full haul. Kaoshan's brigade had a standing order. Hunter or villager, kill a grown boar, and the team pays 60 yuan, 2 months of a worker's wage, because boars wreck the crops. A big one rooting through half a moo of corn in a few hours, and they maul people too. I had the system, but it traded only goods, no currency, and daily life needs cash in hand. Not a wasted trip. System, task complete, 57 minutes 36 seconds, reward credited. 500 myriad value and a 98k. I sat up, willed it forth, and there in my hands was the 98k, bolt action, juju bred stock, scope mounted, black metal, a thing to love at once. The system gave me its handling fast. This was no game with a mouse. A real gun's another matter. I worked the bolt, 5 rounds. Range and power beyond the fowling piece by far. Had I held this against the boar, its head would have been through and through. System, 5 rounds won't last, then what? The 98k took only its own caliber. Exchange ammunition with myriad value. 50 points for 20 rounds. Good, no worry there. 11:45, near noon. I laid a hand on the boar and willed it into the space. Carrying 300 caddies was possible with the pill's strength, but would half kill me. The space saved the trouble. I started back, while slowly recovering. 200 or 300 meters from home, I could see the chimney smoking, the 2 women in and out, pausing to scan the slope. I'd been gone 2 hours, a gunshot had carried down, and they were uneasy, more so for my mention of wolves nearby. Stop watching. That fellow's slyer than a monkey. He'll be fine, Li Dongmei said, feeding the firebox, working the bellows rod between her knees. The big 5-scale iron pot steamed again. Worry about yourself. Me? What's there to worry? Lin Hui countered. She had a foothold now, a man to lean on. Poor, but never starving with hard work. Far better than waiting at home to be shoved into the fire pit. Li Dongmei looked her over, eyes drifting down to her belly, and smirked. Don't look at me like that. Say it plain, that looks frightening. You and Chin Chong have done the deed. When do you mean to have a child? Lin Hui sprayed out her mouth full of water. We haven't registered, haven't held the wedding. How could we so soon? In those years minds ran conservative. Young couples courted in secret. A cornfield, a copse, a haystack. And an accident wasn't rare, but a child before marriage crossed a red line and made you the village's laughingstock, the woman shamed, the man disciplined. And Chin Chong's life is hard. A child now would only suffer. She'd keep her head. First make a living, settle, save a little, then think of children. Good that you see it, but you two on one Kong, dry tinder and open flame. You can't hold it. You'll want a way. Lin Hui flushed. What way? Once that's begun, she couldn't govern herself, let alone Chin Chong. Li Dongmei frowned, thought, then brightened, remembering the Women's Federation meeting back home. All the village women gathered, even the 15 and 16ths. I heard the Federation say there's a kind of balloon. Fit it on the man's thing and you won't catch. Chatting and horsing around. They didn't notice me come in. What are you two on about? I asked, curious. Half an hour of mountain trail under a hard sun had left me parched. I lifted the water jar's cover and drank gourd after gourd. They turned quickly, dropping the subject. You're back. Lin Hui smiled, her worry easing, and hung the fowling piece on the wall for me. Look at the state of you. Leaves and dirt everywhere. Li Dongmei frowned, but, considerate enough, took the Kong broom, peeled my coat off, shook it hard in the yard, and brushed what wouldn't shake loose. What were you two saying? Some balloon, fitting something on. I pressed. Lin Hui went red and silent. Li Dongmei hung the cleaned coat on the line. Women's business. Don't pry. Go. The word eat never made it out. She'd caught sight of the black bulk lying in the yard and froze. Boars are nothing rare in the Northeast. The 70s and 80s had plenty. She placed it fast, walked over, poked the ear with a stick. A boar this big, you killed it? Lin Hui came to, disbelieving. It lay like a millstone. Of course I did. Luck today, a little way into the woods, and there it was. I kept it easy. No need to detail what had happened. Bare-handed against a 300 catty boar. This wasn't a water margin show. No one would believe it. So I deliberately put the fowling piece in its mouth and fired, leaving a bloody hole at the neck. After we eat, I'll take the station's three-wheeler and haul it to the Kaoshan Brigade, 60 yuan. The brigade would scald and clean it and share it among the households. Anyone who'd raised a pig knew you gelled them early, leaving 1 or 2 boars for breeding, which can reach 300 or 400 catties, cold and stewed when past it, the whole house reeking of rut. Worse with a wild one, gamey, tough, and a male besides. Only the hardship of the age made meat welcome at all. A later era would feed it to dogs. Heavens, 60 yuan. My family can't save 60 in a hard year. Li Dongmei marveled. Field work for work points, grain from the team, no other income, not a 10 yuan note saved in a month. How did you bring a boar this big back? Lin Hui wondered. Not far. I carried it the whole way. Li Dongmei's face went disbelieving. Don't feed me that. 300 catties at least. Do you know kung fu? Men are strong, but few shoulder 300 catties, never mind down a mountain. I was born strong. Born strong. I used to ride you and beat you as a child. Carry it and show me then. She looked me over, unconvinced. Don't believe me? Let's bet. Bet what? Not money, I've none. I shoulder it and walk 2 steps. You wash my clothes a week. Can't lift it, I wash yours, deal? She reckoned she couldn't lose. Done. Wait to wash my shorts. We'll see who washes whose, I thought. I set my stance, gripped the boar, sank, and Lin Hui paled. They'd thought it play. 100-odd catties is a strain. 300 could throw your back. Don't show off, Chin Chong. She's only talking, don't wrench your back. I said nothing. A shout, and the whole boar came up onto my shoulder. Easy, and I walked the yard, light-footed. The two were struck dumb, every doubt gone. I dumped it down, the ground shook, dust rising. You said it. A week's washing, shorts included. I went in humming. Seconds later, Li Dongmei surfaced. Where does the fellow get that strength? 300 catties up like nothing, fiercer than the team's donkey. Spoke too soon, didn't you? Lin Hui laughed, shaken too. No wonder he'd had strength to spare last night. The time apart, he must have eaten much hardship. Humph, it's only washing clothes. I lost fair. I'll pay. Li Dongmei said. She'd not welch. While I'd hunted, they'd made lunch. Last night, Lin Hui had set the starter for white flour buns. Town folk mightn't know it, buying buns ready or using yeast powder, But here you needed the old starter, dough kept from the last rising, full of yeast and lactobacillus, where you set the dough at the warm Kong head to rise. The big pot's lid came off in a mushroom cloud of steam. On the rack, plump white buns ringed the edge, rice porridge below, an enamel basin of cold-dressed thistle greens. Wild greens everywhere round the station after a spring rain, picked, washed, dressed, eaten. I took a chopstickful, chewed, all bitter. Why's it so bitter? Bitter's fine. The old folk say bitter clears the fire, and spring's the time for wild greens. Li Dongmei ate expressionless. Greens to eat was good. Back home the fields were combed several times a day, sow thistle and sorrel dug clean. Then eat more. With a temper that hot, I'll fetch you 2 caddies of gold thread to steep daily. Hot food won't even stop your mouth. She shot me a look. Greens to eat was plenty. Enough. Were you 2 enemies in a past life, sniping the moment you meet? Lin Hui handed each of us a bun. Childhood teasing, grown into bickering. Whether bitter clears the fire has no science I know, but the old hands all say it. Rice porridge, steamed white buns, cold thistle, and a plate of dandelion fried with egg. Against the cold stove making dew of before, it's good having a woman in the house. Yesterday they'd been hungry with nowhere to rest. Now, on the Kong with white buns and hot porridge, a contentment hard to name. If every day could be this. Fed, I washed up, go out clean. Tidy yourselves. I'll find the 3-wheeler, take the boar to the brigade, and have the secretary register you both. East of the station was a shed for odds and ends. The 3-wheeler lived there, station property anyone could use. I backed it out, checked the tires, worked the pedals. The chain grated, rusted in the damp. Ride that as is and it'd kill you. I unlocked the storeroom, found the waste oil can, dipped a stick, dribbled black oil on the chain, spun the pedals backward a dozen turns, locked up. Back. The 2 were ready. Lin Hui in a red sweater under a jujube coat, pale blue trousers. Li Dongmei in pale gray over black, a single braid. Both in black cotton shoes, handmade, a touch clumsy. A simple wash, a little clam oil, a faint scent of it mixed with soap. Clean, plain, pure. I stared. The body had been useless and left me this windfall. Against such a wife, what's money? Stared at, Lin Hui colored. Why look at me like that? Is my face not washed clean? I drew my eyes back, grinning. It was too dark last night to see. You're really pretty, like an actress on the television. She flushed, the shyness making her lovelier. Women like to hear it. I set the brake, laid the boar on, then spread wheat straw over it. Double cushioning, no jolting your backside. Kaohsian's downhill the whole way, dirt road, rutted, lose the speed and you'd roll it. The 2 sat on the straw, gripping the rails, swaying. I kept it slow, 3 kilometers, downhill, no effort for me. Soon a village showed, small, 100-odd households, hard by the rail line. When a train passed Kaohsian, it halted 15 minutes to couple the open cars of timber, loaded a day or a week ahead, hooked to the last carriage and run south. In that stop, villagers traded local goods to passengers for grain coupons or cash, boiled eggs, corn buns, griddle cakes, wild ginseng, mountain gatherings. A few days past Qingming, the warmth growing, roadside grass in new shoots, a green haze from afar. The fields heaped with the ash of burned corn stubble. Spring means plowing. The year's plan lies in spring. The team busy turning up last year's stubble, drying, beating off the soil, piling and burning it. Other villages took it home for fuel, but Kaohsian, at the mountain's foot, never wanted for firewood. 20 minutes, and I rode into the brigade yard. After lunch, the brigade folk rested before the afternoon's field work. In the co-op years, the brigade housed cadres, team leaders, sent down youths. Though last year's policy shifts had the youths drifting back to the cities, who'd stay to suffer if they could leave. I braked, got off, the 2 close behind me. They knew no one here. I peered in the window, saw the old secretary, and knocked. Who is it? Come in. He sat on a stool, drawing on a dry pipe, knocking it on his sole, pinching a wad of shred into a bullet casing mouthpiece. Secretary, it's me. I pushed in, smiling. Xiangzi, don't stand at the door. He waved me in. When I'd first come to Kaohsian, I'd not adjusted. Never done farm work. The body couldn't take it. Palms blistered, little done, and the jeers, calling me a little rightist. The old secretary had spared me the fields, sent me to the station where there was less wagging of tongues and a monthly subsidy, light work, keeping the station's books, a kind of steward. I was just thinking it's not safe. You alone at the station, a fever and no one to mind you. I'll send someone to pair with you. Then he noticed the two women behind me. Never seen these two girls. Yours, Xiangzi. I nodded, pointed to Lin Hui. Let me introduce. Lin Hui, my wife-to-be. She dipped her head, shy. He looked them over, surprised and pretty. Well now, a few days unseen and you've got a wife. That one's your sister-in-law then? The two did look alike. A stranger would take them for sisters. Secretary, I'm Li Dongmei, same village as Lin Hui, she said, stepping up, bold, never shy anywhere. The old secretary was on in years, his ears damaged hauling artillery for the army in his youth, hit or miss. Mei. Li Dongmei. Li Dong what? Li Dongmei. Brows knit, ear cocked, still not catching it. Li what Mei? The film bits come from life, after all. I went to his side and set it against his ear. He got it then, and I gave him the whole of their situation plainly. He slammed his enamel mug down. Society's been freed and they still pull that feudal stuff, forcing women. It ought to be punished hard. Angry, but helpless, a small village secretary, yet he'd not stand aside. There's plenty here who love to gossip. You two stay with Xiangzi at the station for now, rough as it is. He took a thick ledger from the cabinet, Kaoshan's roll of people. Your letters of introduction, I'll register you. They handed them over. In that era, the letter was your ID, your details, home address, the local seal, and few forged it. Satisfied, he wrote their names on a blank page with his fountain pen. Xiangzi, last month's ration must be near gone, and 2 more mouths now won't stretch. He patted his pocket, set a few grain coupons on the table. 10 caddies of coupons here, and a dozen caddies of corn grits at home. Take them when you go. Outsider though I was, little rightist, label and all, he didn't treat me as one. His wife steamed white buns she wouldn't eat herself, and sent me 4 or 5. Secretary, coupons are hard to save. Keep them for something good. I'm young and strong. I can feed myself. I put them back in his pocket and went to the yard, lifted the top straw off the 3-wheeler, bearing the boar. He'd meant to dig out more coupons when he heard a rustle in the yard, squinted out the window, and saw the black bulk with its stiff bristles in the cargo bed. Pipe forgotten, he hurried out, and at the sight of the boar all but filling the bed his eyes went round. He circled it twice, then pointed at the great head, disbelieving. Xiangzi, this, you killed this? I nodded, grinning, proud. Out hunting hares this morning, I ran into the brute, took some doing, watched my moment, put the piece in its mouth, fired, and finally dropped it. I'm on the shot. Thinking of the village rule, a reward for a dead boar, I hauled it back. He grinned first. Real meat, and the village hadn't seen a boar this big in ages. Then the smile fell. He put his hands behind him, stepped round behind me, and kicked my backside a few times. Not hard. An elder's exasperated scolding. You wretch, grown bold, have you? How many times have I told you? Stay put at the station, keep the books. That old forest is no place for you to go blundering. Black bears, wolves, the gold-tipped one, not one of them gentle. If something happened to me, he'd not face my grandfather underground, the man who'd risked his life pulling him from the Japanese devils. Did my words go in one ear and out the other? I stumbled forward, brushed off my trousers, no anger in me. I knew he meant it for my good. Secretary, don't be angry. I keep your words. But I can't cower in that little station room forever. I'm grown a man. I can't be useless, sponging off my elders, waiting on your handouts. My eyes drifted to Lin Hui at the door, gripping her hem, watching tense. Before I was a bachelor. Now I've a wife. I want to work the mountain, gather more, earn more, not let my wife-to-be and sister Dongmei suffer with me. I want them fed full, living well. A man stands up and shoulders it. The old secretary slowly lowered his pipe. He'd always seen me as a child and not thought further. Lin Hui's eyes reddened, biting her lip against tears, the look she turned on me gone tender and firm. She'd not chosen wrong. Li Dongmei watched my back, the child she'd once bullied, grown into a man, and the longer she looked, the more it suited her eye. A long silence. Then he sighed, came back, and this time only clapped my shoulder hard enough to rock me. You wretch. You're a man. Knowing to cherish a wife before the wedding's even held. She'll live well with you. All smiles now, taking me for a grandson. Glad I'd grown sensible and found a wife. And that tall, fair Lin Hui, glad from the heart. Accountant. Accountant Wong. Stop hiding. Come look how to handle this boar. How many work points and what reward for Qiangzi. The village didn't slaughter, but at New Year or mid-autumn, the times you ate meat you could count on your fingers. And fetch a few hands. While it's fresh, dress it. Today Kaoshan rides on Qiangzi's luck and throws a pig-killing feast. The old secretary's shout stirred the whole brigade out of their after-lunch nap. First a rustle of clothing and slippers from the next room. Then heads poked in at the gate. What is it, secretary? Oh, this. Zhao Dagong, the production team leader from next door, came in rubbing sleep from his eyes, the words dying as his eyes went round at the black bulk in the cargo bed. Mother of mine, a boar stone's this big. Another social member sucked a breath. Those tusks, that frame, 300 caddies if it's an ounce. Who took it? Every eye swung to me. No one else had moved, and the bled hole under the boar's jaw from the fowling piece told them. Qiangzi, not bad. Didn't know you had it in you. Zhao Dagong's fan-broad palm came down hard on my shoulder, thinking the lad who could barely manage fieldwork had no business downing a brute this size. Before the pills I'd have staggered. Now I stood like a rock, his force sinking in like a clay ox into the sea. It's a fierce thing. You weren't hurt? He added, and pressed harder. I shook my head, feeling the test in it. Luck, mostly luck, ran into it. Luck nothing. Dropping it is skill, the old secretary said, smiling, stepping in to push Zhao Dagong off. He knew the two of us were quietly measuring each other. Enough gawking. Dagong, fetch more hands. Where's Accountant Wong? Get him too. Zhao Dagong thought. The lad hides his depths. Soon 7 or 8 had gathered in the little brigade yard. Accountant Wong came, 40-ish, thin, glasses with a leg taped on, bookish-looking but Kaoshan-born with 20 years on the job. He pushed up his glasses, circled the boar twice, looked at my fowling piece and the bloody hole in its mouth, and had it figured. By the rule the village set long ago, he cleared his throat for all to hear. Kill a grown crop-wrecking boar and turn it in to the team, and the reward's 60 yuan cash. Work points. Qiangzi's the station steward now, a special post, off the daily work point tally, but for a contribution this big the team can grant you an extra 3 months' grain ration. As for the meat, he looked to the old secretary. A boar this size would yield 170 or 80 caddies. The secretary drew on his dry pipe, thought, and decided. Here's how. Clean it up, throw the head and trotters and offal in with the meat. A big pot stewed. Let the village have a taste. The 11-scale iron pot could just hold it. A pig-killing feast, some cheer. The meat wouldn't be free, though. Mindful that I now had a wife and the pressure that brings, he found a way. Whoever eats kicks in a grain coupon, or a cloth coupon. A token. All of you. A cheer went up, faces bright. 2 months since New Year with no meat. The thought alone set them swallowing. Qiangzi, that suit you? Whatever the secretary says, no objection, I nodded. I'd only come for the reward. The extra ration was a windfall, and the coupon collecting was his kindness to me. Then wait, I'll fetch the cash and ledger, Wong said, and went in. The secretary set Zhao Dagong and the strong hands to lift the boar. Hands here, get the big fellow down. Careful you don't crush the bed. They ran thick poles through the bend of its legs, called a count. 1, 2, 3, up, and the dead weight came off and onto the yard's open ground. Someone hauled a thick door plank from the storeroom and laid it on a brick stove built up on the spot. The 11-scale pot that once cooked the big pot communal meals went on a larger fire eye. Zhao Dagong parceled out the work. Water hauled, pot scrubbed and filled, hard dry firewood split. A neighbor's pumice borrowed for scraping bristles, the steady-handed old hand given the scalding job, and the quiet yard roared to life. Bellows wheezing, orange flame leaping, the pot scrubbed and filled bucket by bucket, white steam threading up, the water beginning to bubble. Wong came out with cash and ledger. Qiangzi, count it, 60, 5 tens and 2 5s. I glanced, crisp 10 yuan great unity, notes and 5s, 60 exactly. In an age where a fun was split in two, 60 yuan's buying power was staggering. 2 months of a town worker's wage. Count it. Would you ever miscount? I smiled. Procedure's procedure. He handed me the ledger and pen. Sign here, press your thumb, proof you've drawn it. I signed, pressed a red thumbprint, and the money was formally mine, my first bucket of gold in this era, earned by my own ability. The system, truly. Lin Hui and Li Dongmei hadn't taken their eyes off the cash since Wang produced it. 60 yuan, more than their families could scrape in a year from a hen's backside and the gaps between their teeth, and I'd made it in half a day in the hills. With the money in hand, Lin Hui was glad for me. Her parents, favoring sons, had never given her pocket money. Anything she wanted as a girl meant asking first, and a girl loves to look nice. But a length of new cloth was out of the question, only her brother's hand-me-downs. Li Dongmei's lot was the same, and envy showed plain on her face at the sight. Both knew, though, that I'd risked my neck for it, and were content just to have a roof and full bellies, not daring to want more. I took it all in, walked over, and to their surprise split the cash in two, 30 each, and pressed it into their hands. This, Lin Hui jerked back as if scalded, nearly dropping it, caught it, flushed crimson. How can I? This is your money, we can't take it. Li Dongmei held hers like a hot potato, trying to push it back. Take it back, Xiangzi. We eat your food, live in your house, we can't take your money too. I closed their hands over it. Gentle, but not to be refused. What's mine and yours? Mine is yours. I said I'd not let you live hard. Hold it. Kaoshan has a shop, and when we're done here I'll take you to look, buy what's wanting, and a girl should have a length of new cloth for a dress. I had the system. With myriad value I could exchange endlessly, so cash meant little to me. But real life runs on cash, and I'd already worked out how to earn the next 60. This is only the start. I can keep hunting. The earning days are ahead. This is nothing. Seeing them still hesitate, I hardened it like an order. Take it. Living costs. Rice, oil, salt. What doesn't cost money? I'm careless. I'd lose it. Hold it for me, and I'll rest easy. Push it back and forth again, and I'll truly be angry. Only then did they pocket it, and they'd not waste a fun of it. In the yard the water rolled. With poles and rope they heaved the scalded, part-scraped boar onto the door-plank table, the carcass steaming, the hide gray-brown. Hang it. Easier to dress hung, Zhao Dagong directed. 2 strong members ran a hooked rope through the slits at the hind hocks, through the other end over a thick bough of the old elm in the corner, and hauled. The back half of the 300 catty boar swung up, 4 trotters, and head still on the plank. Zhao Dagong hefted a bright, broad-backed cleaver and turned to a practiced old hand. Uncle Nian, first cut, the head's yours. The one called Uncle Nian took a long boning knife, set a hand on an ear, cut along the neck joint with a steady wrist, and soon the great head and a length of neck came away whole into a waiting basin. Then the 4 trotters, clean. He switched to a shorter knife and opened the belly along the midline, parting the thick hide and fat to the red and white organs, a smell of blood and viscera spreading. Off-putting to the nose, good to the tongue. Careful, don't nick the guts. Liver and heart aside, those are the good bits. Rinse the lungs well. They reek, but clean they eat fine. Heart, liver, lungs, large and small intestine, stomach went into separate basins, carried to the well to rinse. A boar's offal reeks more, but in an age short of oil and meat no one would dream of tossing it. Wash it many times, then bury the rankness under chili, Sichuan pepper, and spice. No work for me there. I saw Zhao Dagong idle a moment and went over. Team leader, busy half the day, a breather? I smiled, brushing his arm, my glance going to the gate. A sharp man. He read it at once. I'd something to say not for all ears. Washed the blood off his hands, and came with me to the shade by the wall, fishing out a half-pack of great front gate cigarettes. He took one, then offered the pack. One. My eyes lit. A heavy smoker in my last life. Near a day here and no chance at it, the craving up. Thanks, team leader. I drew one, held it practiced between my fingers, and waited for him to strike the match. He cupped the flame, lit his own, drew deep, then held the burning match to me. I leaned in, and he saw something that surprised him. I'd not smoked before, the boy, yet I drew the smoke deep into my lungs, held it 2 seconds, and let 2 long streams out through nose and mouth, an old smoker's ease. He narrowed his eyes, looked me over, grinned. Not bad, Xiangzi. Never saw you smoke, but that's no beginner's form. Takes years. When you sneak the habit. Deep one you are. My heart skipped. The reflex full-lung pull had given me away. I showed nothing, blowing rings, putting on depth. Night watch at the station, alone, dull, fooled around with it, and learned. He thought no more of it. What man doesn't smoke? Then turned, a little apologetic, for the heavy shoulder slaps. Xiangzi, sorry about before. I really didn't believe you could drop a borestones that big. Put some force in to test your frame, and found you don't show your true face. I misjudged you. I let out smoke. You're too kind, team leader. I know everyone kept their distance before, not at me, but at my parents' business. The winds were tight those years. No one wanted trouble. I understand. That cleared most of his unease. He looked me over again. Nothing like the wilted, silent little rightist in his memory. Talk and manner like a grown man's. Good, that you see it that way. Then I'm easy. What did you bring me out for? Anything not against law or principle. I'll help where I can. Today we've, call it, met afresh. That was the line I'd waited for. I looked round, sure no one watched the wall, dug into my pocket, and opened my palm. A dozen odd fruit candies of different colors, cellophane-wrapped lollipops, vacuum-packed marshmallow, a few squares of chocolate. His eyes went wide, the cigarette forgotten. Xiangzi, this candy, where from? The shops never had anything like it. Candy was rare then. Only from a big city co-op or special channels. Eaten at New Year if at all. What I held wouldn't appear on any shelf for years. They were system exchanged. At my low level the catalog was thin, basics and a few specialty items, and I'd reason that rather than exchange things useless to me now, I'd turn myriad value into the era's hard currency, cash, or the more useful coupons. The system couldn't make grain or cloth coupons, planned economy creatures with the stamp of the age. I'd chosen Zhao Dagong with care. Team leader, standing in the village, connections, and a quick mind. He'd long used Kaoshan's nearness to the rail halt to trade mountain goods and eggs to passengers, small scale, but a nose for it, the kind to seize a chance when policy loosened. He looked at the candy, eyes flickering, no move to take it, then fixed me, his face going grave. Xiangzi, level with your brother. This stuff, is it clean? Not got wrong. I had my line ready. Rest easy, team leader. A friend of mine has a relative at a southern sugar mill. Now and then gets the internally handled seconds or sample stock. Not proper packaging, but the candy's fine. He spared me some to deal with myself. The source is clean. I'd not dare touch anything criminal. Biting down on internally handled and samples, explained the oddness and hinted the cost was low. He drew deep, exhaled slow, the smoke wreathing his thinking face, took a few pieces. Xiangzi, I'll trust you once, he said gravely. How much have you got? First lot small, 2 or 3 caddies, mixed. With myriad value I could exchange as much as I liked. The source was no worry. The thing was to open a channel. I want to test the water. If it works, swap it for cash or coupons. I'll see about getting more, and we split the margin. 8 to me, 2 to you. 8-2. His brow shot up, then his face turned stern, even hard. Xiangzi, stop. Don't say such things. Margins, splitting accounts. That's speculation and profiteering, a serious error. You get disciplined, worse you go inside. You're young, don't bend your mind crooked. Forget 8-2. He'd help free, but this couldn't be said. I'd expected it. Private trade for profit was a high-tension line then. But with reform advancing, the policy had already loosened. I laughed. Team leader Zhao, what age is this? Still trotting out those 4 words? I've nothing to do at the station but read old newspapers. The wind's long changed. Down south some places have split the land to each household to farm themselves. The land responsibility system. Anyone who'd had the 9 years of schooling would know it. The history books record it. The first shot fired at Shaojing village in Fengyang. And the cities have stall keepers now. The papers run, reform, and opening. Enliven the economy, more and more. This spring wind will reach Kaoshan sooner or later. He stared, lost for words, not expecting me to know the big news so well. The old frames want new names. This isn't speculation. It's free trade, meeting people's needs. You run to the station yourself, ferrying things, swapping for the rare item. Much the same in nature. The difference was that what I held were rarities. He fell silent, smoking hard, gray smoke wreathing him like a martial arts master gone astray in his training. I didn't press. My cigarette burned to the end. I flicked it, ground it under my heel, and waited. About a minute on, he drew a breath and decided. "You're right, lad." He glanced at the yard. "Won't lie. That old radio of mine. I listen every night. The production team's days are numbered, and this team leader of mine may end a general with no soldiers." An admission that I'd judged right, and a bearing of his own mind. He was no head-down old diehard. These years passed. Who'd dare privately ferry anything? Didn't dare swap extra grain coupons even. Caught. It was digging at socialism's wall corner. A hat big enough to crush you. He shook his head, a man who'd lived those years, then turned. "But these 2 years it's eased. The town and county have more stalls, and so long as you're not too showy, the higher-ups turn a blind eye. On work points alone, life's tight. Who wouldn't want a little extra?" Back to my idea, small stuff? Really, no great matter. "All right, I'll test the water for you." As it happens, a slow train stops at our halt 15 minutes at 3:30. I meant to take eggs and griddle cakes to try my luck. "Your goods, can you make it?" My heart leapt. "Mostly done." I checked the bandless, crack-faced watch. Still kept good time. 2:40. "I'll make it. I'll go to the station for the goods. Meet me on the platform around 3:20. "Done," he said briskly. "I'll get home, have my wife boil eggs, griddle cakes, steam 2 pots of half-flour corn buns, all carried hot. Train folk want something warm, and we're not short of firewood. As for 8-2, don't mention it again. I'm just carrying it along for you. Swap for what I can, scout the going rate. 1 village, and you'd pay me for a favor? What kind of talk is that?" Now that we'd properly met, and after what I'd said, he could see this lad would amount to something. "Then I'm much obliged, team leader." I owed him one and noted it. He hurried home. I went back to the loud yard. The pot's water was changed now, big chunks of boar and the cleaned, awful stewing. Boar is tough, a male reeks, and only long stewing kills the rank and softens the meat past sticking in the teeth. Lin Hui and Li Dongmei were washing bowls with some village women, who, seeing the two fresh-faced and tall and well-made, heaped on praise. "You're both lovely. Found a match yet, shall we?" Auntie Wong'll introduce one. "Dongmei, my nephew's solid, strong at work. And my boy, marry in and you'll not lose by it. Better than that station." The two went shy. I came over. "Auntie Wong, Auntie Lu, save your breath. Lin Hui's my wife-to-be." That ended the matchmaking. They balked at first. What did a little rightist have to waste so fine a girl? But I didn't bother explaining. I took Lin Hui's hand, on purpose before them all. "This is my wife, no more of that. I've to go to the station soon. While there's time, let's go register with the old secretary." Lin Hui flushed red as evening cloud, ducked her head, gave a soft "Whatever you say." The women turned to Li Dongmei. "And Dongmei, buy one get one. She's my second wife. I'll take them both," I said. Li Dongmei snorted a laugh. Second wife now? Was she? When had the lad's mouth gotten so wicked? I took Lin Hui to register. In that era the village could do it. "Registered, and you're properly my wife. Last chance to regret it." She snapped her head up, flushed and cross, and gave the soft flesh at my waist a pinch. "What nonsense. I've given myself to you, fled 700 li here. Regret what? Marry the man, follow the man, sweet or bitter, I chose you, no regrets." I winced for show, grinning, a pinch is love. Joking, a wife this good, I can't dote on you enough. Who'd let go and be the world's biggest fool? "Come, the secretary." We went in. He'd just woken, sipping strong tea, and beamed at the pair of us, saying good, to my purpose. "I was about to remind you. Huey's a good girl, your good fortune." Reading glasses on, he took out the other ledger, the one for new population and marriages. Letters of introduction again, and Xiangzi, your household status proof. He read them, asked some basics, and wrote, "Chen Chong, male, born, native of, now resident Kaohsiung Forestry Station. Lin Hui, female, born, native of Tiling, Liao Province." The two joined of their own will on April 6, 1979, applying to register as a de facto marriage, to complete formal marriage registration when conditions allow. Introducer/witness, Kaoshan Brigade Secretary, Wang Yongfu. From that moment, we were lawful husband and wife. Secretary, set your heart at ease. If I ever turn brute and bully her, you needn't lift a hand. I'll find a rope and a crooked tree myself. That set him laughing, beard twitching. Wretch, all this nonsense. Live well, that's the thing. Lin Hui flushed, but felt close to him already. Thank you, Secretary. When we're better off and hold the wedding feast, you must be our master of ceremonies. Ah, that I like to hear. Master of ceremonies, settled, and lay in good wine. Surely. I dug into my pocket and brought out a small handful of cellophane-wrapped fruit hard candies, glinting colors in my palm. Secretary, we registered today, a happy thing. The feast we owe you, but try the wedding candy first, share the luck. Rarities you couldn't buy. He didn't refuse this time, taking them gladly. Good. I'll take the wedding candy, share the luck. Outside, Lin Hui and I let out a breath together and looked at each other. Papers done, names fixed, lawful husband and wife now. In the yard the pot still bubbled, meat sent thick with scallion, ginger, and spice, but far from done. I checked the sky, then the watch. Xiao Hui, while it stews, let me take you and Dongmei round the shop. Add whatever's wanting at home. We've money now, don't pinch. Her hand went to the 30 in her pocket. We should. Oil, salt, soy, vinegar, and the bits, flashlight batteries, window paper, all gone. Then let's go. I called Li Dongmei from the well. The three of us took the three-wheeler through the dirt lanes to two low flat-roofed rooms at the village center. Kaoshan's only shop. No sign, but everyone knew it. The plank doors stood ajar, the frame worn glossy. Inside, a smell of kerosene, soap, pastry, and dust. Small shelves of board and brick along the walls thinly stocked. Bulk brown and white sugar in coarse paper, bundled toilet paper, soap, matches, oil lamps, needles and thread, a few dusty enamel mugs, glass jars of hard candy and animal biscuits, farm tools and torn sacks in a corner. Dim, one small window. Behind the counter, a 50-ish heavy woman sat sewing a shoe sole, looked up at the door's creak, her round face breaking into a smile, and at the sight of me with two pretty strangers, her eyes lit. Down went the sole, up she stood. Why? If it isn't Xiangzi from the station, what brings you? The words trailed as her gaze circled the two, the matchmaking instinct plain. I knew the type and cut in, nodding at Lin Hui. Auntie Pang, no need. Let me introduce. My wife, Lin Hui, just registered with the secretary. Appointedly Dongmei. This is Dongmei, my wife's sworn sister, staying with us a while. The words she'd readied choked off. Her smile froze, then warmed, surprised. Aya, Xiangzi, you've done it. Married a girl this pretty without a word? You'll go far. She looked Lin Hui over, clucking, eyes sliding to Li Dongmei, still scheming. And this Dongmei, sharp as she is, Li Dongmei caught the look and, tired of being quizzed, put on a straight face, pointed at me, and said solemnly, Me? I'm his second wife. Auntie Pang's mouth fell open, the soul nearly dropping, eyes round, looking from me to Lin Hui to Li Dongmei, stammering at last, SEC, second wife? It's the new society, that's not done, isn't the policy one husband, one wife? Lin Hui and I were caught off guard by the second wife, too. Then, seeing the woman's shock, couldn't help laughing. Lin Hui colored and pinched Li Dongmei. Li Dongmei broke too, and, lest it spread, made it plain. Auntie Pang, I'm teasing. I came fleeing famine, with Lin Hui to find Chin Chong, staying a while. A hand to the chest. You girl, you scared me. I said Xiangzi didn't look the sort. Still, Xiangzi, you've struck luck, a wife this pretty, a sister-in-law this fresh. Some banter, and the room eased. Lin Hui and Li Dongmei set to choosing in earnest. 4 No. 1 batteries, a little MSG, a paper twist of saccharin, the soda for steaming buns, and a packet of foreign baking soda, 2 reels of grayish cotton thread, a big sheet of window paper. Seeing a couple of newish red double happiness enamel basins and plastic buckets on the shelf, they took one each. Remembering Zhao Dagong and me smoking, Lin Hui hesitated, then told Auntie Pang, Auntie, a carton of Guantang cigarettes too. I blinked at her. She ducked her head low. You smoke a little, ease the tiredness. Warmth in me. She'd kept even that in mind. Li Dongmei pointed under the counter. Auntie Pang, any toilet paper, the better kind? The woman bent and pulled out a packet wrapped in rough craft, a little wider and softer. Costs more, but beats straw paper. Li Dongmei nodded. We'll take a packet. A woman's days each month wanted. Back home it was wood ash in a sewn cloth strip, and now with money in pocket, a small improvement to share in. Here are chapters 22 to 27 of Book 9, no titles, in the revoiced first person. Only what Qin Chong perceives, thinks, and infers. The system is readouts he reads and hears. The space is something he commands. Clean batch, brief note at the end. The pile they'd chosen heaped on the counter like a little hill. Auntie Pang worked an old abacus, beads flying, muttering. For batteries, a yuan 20, MSG 3 mao, saccharin 1.5, soda and baking soda 2 mao together, cotton thread 2 mao, window paper 1.5, enamel basin 1.8, plastic bucket 1.2, Guantang cigarettes 1.8, toilet paper 5 mao. Let me see, 10 yuan 6 mao 5 in all. 10.65, no small outlay. Lin Hui drew a small breath at the figure, but reached for the 30 in her inner pocket without hesitating. Li Dongmei was faster, one hand pinning Lin Hui's, the other already out of her own pocket with a great unity note and a 5, slapped down on the counter. Chin lifted at the startled Auntie Pang. Change, please. Dongmei you, Lin Hui started. Use mine first. Didn't the head of our house say there's more to be earned? Keep yours for emergencies. She bit down on head of our house and winked at me. Auntie Pang looked at the money, then at the two pretty girls racing to pay, then at me, mouth working, saying nothing aloud, only muttering inside. Chin Chong, lad, what kind of dumb luck did you stumble into? She made 435 change, tore off old newspaper, parceled and tied everything brisk. All set. Take care. Whatever's short, come anytime. I hauled the big bundle. The two carried the lighter things, and we left. I rode them and the goods back to the brigade yard, the daily things set in the old secretary's room for now. Leave it here, and you two wait. Chat with folks, get acquainted. I told them. I'm off to the station. Meet team leader Zhao on some business. Back in half an hour. When the pig stew's done, we'll eat together. Plenty of the village will come. Good chance to meet them. Lin Hui nodded. Be careful. Come back soon. I turned the three-wheeler out of the yard. Kaoshan's small, minutes from brigade to the main road out. Rounding onto the wider dirt track, I saw Zhao Dagong ahead, also on a three-wheeler, waiting at the roadside. 2 white foam boxes roped in his bed, boiled eggs and 2 flour buns of white and corn, and 3 bamboo-sheathed thermoses of hot rice porridge lashed to the side against the jolting. For the station, to sell to travelers wanting something hot. Team leader. I pedaled up alongside. Xiangzi, got the goods? Got them. I pointed at the canvas grip bag in my bed, all system exchanged rarities. You've come well stocked. It's the whole trick. Eggs, buns, porridge, solid stuff that fills and warms. Trained folk want exactly that. Let's push on, the train's near. We rode out, wheels grinding gravel, the turned black earth on either side giving off its raw smell, the hillside woods shading to new green. 7 or 8 minutes, round a hummock, and it opened out. Flat ground, 2 rails glinting cold into the distance. Kaoshan Station, less a station than a temporary halt. No tall building, just low plank and tar paper sheds and peeling green paint. A faint ticket office, board on one frame. A crooked tin waiting room, plate worn near blank on another. A black and white striped pole for a marker. Across the rails, stacked logs and split firewood heaped like little hills. The station's timber for shipping out. Young, strong men hauling it onto flat cars. When the train came, it would halt 20 minutes and couple the flat cars at the rear, cheaper than trucking and more capacity. A dozen odd people were already on the platform, some with bundles, some, like Zhao Dagong, with baskets and thermoses to do a little trade. A few greeted him. Dagong again, what good things today? The usual, eggs, buns, millet porridge, he answered, parking at his regular spot, untying the boxes. I parked beside him, first time here, and checked the watch, 3:19. A low long whistle came from afar. I looked up. At the rails end a black colossus came on slow, breathing thick white steam, a crawling iron beast, the great red wheels rolling with a clang, the connecting rods rocking, white smoke shooting straight up the blue and drawn into long streamers by the wind. Nearer, the ground's tremor sharpening, the air thick with coal smoke and steam. The huge head roared past, a wash of heat and fine droplets in my face. I narrowed my eyes, struck, not a picture from a book or screen, but the industrial relic itself halting before me. A great clank at the couplings, a slight sway, and it stilled. Hiss. The train was in. Stopped, the head still hissing great gouts of white. The driver pushed the cab's side door, hopped down, leaned by a red wheel, lit a hand-rolled cigarette, squinted at the platform. By custom, the slow train held 20 minutes for the loaded flat cars to be coupled, and the coal shoveler. These old engines needed one besides the driver, watching the gauges, could step out for air. Zhao Dagong shouldered a foam box and elbowed me, still craning at the iron beast. First time this close. I was the same when I came. All that iron piled together, and it tears down two thin rails like the wind, had me wondering. I drew my eyes back, smiled, said nothing. Thinking of the bullet trains and planes to come, northeast to Hainan in 4 hours, far quicker than this relic. Bring those here, and you'd drop every jaw. But that stayed in my belly. I took the grip bag and followed him to the nearest green carriage. Its door open, a navy-uniformed conductor with a tilted cap brim yawning at it. Cramped passengers were climbing down to stretch and smoke. Zhao Dagong was plainly irregular. He crowded up to the conductor with an easy smile, slipping 2 crumpled 1-mao notes into his hand. Master Xing, hard work. Fine day, eh? Master Xing, 25 or -6, square-faced, heavy-lidded, rubbed the money into his pocket, expressionless, his eye landing on me behind Zhao Dagong and the bulging bag. Dagong, this lad's new. What's he do? He said, chin up, official-toned. Zhao Dagong stepped aside, easing me half a step forward, smiling. Master Xing, my cousin, Xiangzi, out with me first time, learning to earn a little pocket money for the household. Could you do us the favor? Master Xing frowned, waved, lowered his voice. Dagong, it's not that I won't. The word from above is tight lately. Checks are strict. Bring a new face up, and if something slips, do I keep my rice bowl? You're putting me in a spot. Zhao Dagong was about to sweeten it further, but I stepped up half a pace, said nothing, just naturally opened a small gap in the bag, reached in, and came out with a fistful of cellophane-wrapped fruit hard candies, which I tucked straight into Master Xing's uniform pocket. Hey you! He startled, moving to fish them out. I pressed his hand. These courtesies must sometimes be kept. Master Xing, a few candies are nothing. You've a little one at home, yes? Take them back, sweeten the child's mouth. Running the line so far, the child must miss you. He paused, surprised. How'd you know I've a kid? I touched my nose, the smell. Came close and caught a milky scent on you. A grown man hasn't that himself, so it's a child's. A father out the door always carries a bit of home on him. Said lightly. But it caught him. He did have a son not yet too. Had held him that morning, slept in one quilt with wife and child. He looked me over again. Sharp eyes, easy words. Not bad, lad, good eye. A smile now, and he patted the pocket. Heavy, a dozen-odd pieces at least. All right, seeing you two have it hard. Get up, but don't go wandering. Sell pleasant. No quarrels with passengers, no trouble. Something goes wrong, I can't cover you. Thank you, Master Xing. We'll be proper, Zhao Dagong said quickly, pulling me up past the conductor. Inside, the mixed reek, tobacco, sweat, food, the carriage's own rust and leather, the hard seat car packed, people standing the aisle, the air thick. At the sight of Zhao Dagong's foam box, eyes lit. Food's here. Eggs. How much? Porridge, a hot bowl. Practiced, he set the box in the gap between seat rows, opened it on the white eggs and yellow-white 2 flour buns, unscrewed a thermos, the rice-scented steam rising. Eggs 1.5 for 2. Buns 5 fun. Millet porridge 3 fun a bowl. Bring your own cup. They crowded in. Workers, farmers, folk visiting kin, loath to spend in the dining car, waiting on exactly this. Coins passed. He took and handed, smooth. I didn't rush. Got my bearings first, my target not quite his, to spare us friction later. I fixed on a patch where several women sat with children, the eldest 6 or 7, the smallest still held, The children long out of patience on the long ride. Some crying, some chewing fingers, the mothers weary. That was the spot. I went over with a warm, not too eager smile. Didn't holler like Zhao Dagong. Just stopped near them and, under their curious, wary eyes, opened the bag. Not all of it. Just reached in and brought out a big fistful of candy. Colors that pulled every child's eye. The crying dropping off. Sisters, hard-going, traveling with little ones. I smiled, candy cupped in my palm, the children's eyes on it. I've some new goods from the South. Fruit candy, first time selling on this train, a taste for the kids. Sales was my trade last life. Pinpoint the market, that was my strength, and I knew how to open a channel. My goods were rarities, untasted, so why would anyone pay? Risk being cheated. Here's how. Every child here, big or small, two free first, a taste. If it's good, sisters buy a little for the road, settle the kids. If not, the candy's my treat, not a fun. And I began handing them out, starting with a pigtailed, round-eyed little girl nearest, two of the brightest in her small hand. Here, little one, see if it's sweet. She glanced timid at her mother, who wavered. Then, seeing the child's hope and hearing free, nodded. The girl grabbed it, beaming. Thank you, big brother. That opened the floodgate. Other small hands reaching, the children ringing me, and I gave each two patient, like a kindergarten teacher, in a child's voice. They tore the wrappers and popped them in, and nearly every small face lit with delight. Sweeter than their New Year hard candy, fuller fruit flavor, some with centers. Mama, so sweet, orange. Mine's soft, there's something inside. It's good. Children's reactions are the best advertisement. The mothers showed buying intent. On the road you most dread a fussing child, and a few candies had quieted the racket. Food, and a break for the grown-ups too. Young man, this candy, how much? One asked, child in arms. The first price asked was a breach in the dam. The others crowded in. How much for the colorful ones? The ones with sticks? What's the soft one? Never seen it at the shop. Unhurried, I opened the bag wide, kind sorted in oil paper twists. Clear fruit hard candy, 1 fin each. Lollipops with sticks, 2 fun. The soft marshmallow, 2 fun. This dark one's called chocolate, a rarity, 1 mao a square. A touch dearer than the co-op's plain hard candy, but the novelty and taste carried it. And after the free taste, with the kids' pleading faces, what mother could hold out? 10 fruit candies. 2 lollipops, 2 marshmallows. Chocolate, 1 to try. Brisk trade. I quick to take in hand, teasing the kids now and then. In 2 or 3 minutes the first lot was gone, the bag noticeably slack, though with the space I could restock at a thought. I hefted the mao notes and coins, settled, and while the heat held reached again into the seemingly empty bag. This time not candy, but small things in simple plastic film. Sisters, having bought candy, do remind the little ones. Too much sweet rots teeth, so rinse and brush. I held up a toothpaste with a pretty printed wrapper. I've a new Southern anti-cavity toothpaste, cleans well, fruit-scented, lasts a long while. Only 2.5. Then a pink soap with a faint jasmine scent and a thicker yellowish bar. New scented soap, for face and hands, leaves you fragrant. This one's a strong stain soap, for stubborn marks on clothes, milk, grease, blood, a few rubs, and it's clean. All system exchanged, unseen on the market. To women who ran households all day, these pulled even harder than candy, more useful. Their eyes brightened more. They leaned in to smell the soap, passed the toothpaste round, murmuring, better than our lye soap. Looks thick, lasts, and it's scented. My man's work clothes, the grease never washes out. And we women have those few days a month, on the shorts, won't come out. Lower your voice. There's a man here. No shame. They looked up at me, married, mothers, blunt, and I went a little red. Try it, and you'll know. I'll be selling here every day, and if it's no good, see me next time, and I'll refund you. That promise broke the hesitation. Soap, toothpaste, daily needs, reasonable. The bag was a treasure chest to them, always another new thing. As I sold 2 more soaps, a whistle came from the coupling, then Master Xing's loud call. About time, getting ready to leave. Anyone not aboard? Hurry, anyone trading, off now. Time. I stopped, smiled apologetic at passengers still wanting a look. Sorry, all. The train's going. Next time. Stowing the last bits. Before zipping up, I grabbed a small fistful of colorful hair ties with little plastic flowers and tucked one on each woman who'd bought. Sisters, a small gift. Tie your girl's hair pretty. An unexpected gift drew surprised smiles. Such decorated ties they'd hardly seen. Nowhere to buy. Aya, how can I? Thank you, young man. You, child, you really know how to do business. I waved, took the bag, met Zhao Dagong, and we got off. We just steadied on the platform when the men out smoking pinched their butts and squeezed back aboard. Master Xing glanced our way and clanked the heavy green door shut. Woo! The black engine breathed white again, the great red wheels turning, dragging the long green string south and away, gone into the distance. Only thin smoke and lingering coal smell left. The platform quieted. The train came every 2 days. Zhao Dagong lashed the empty boxes and thermoses back, straightened, let out a long breath, wiped his brow and neck with a grayish towel. Hard, but it earned, eased the household. He had my slack bag. I'd sold plenty. Qiangzi, you did a fair bit this trip. First time aboard, and to manage that was no small thing. I know you've 2 women. Life's not easy. Money needed everywhere. Even without those candies from Master Xing, I'd have gotten you up. A man come through hard years. Every findeer, frugality bone deep. The 2 Mao toll to Master Xing was a necessary cost to him. But the fistful of candy I'd given free was pure waste. I smiled, zipping the bag, explaining unhurried. Brother Dagong, I take your meaning, but it doesn't reckon that way. Think. The train stops 20 minutes. If we wrangle at the door with Master Xing and miss it, the goods wait 2 more days. That candy's worth a Mao or 2. He owes us a favor now. Next time, easy or no? Courtesies. In real life, you never get round those 4 words. However able you are, you'll need to ask favors. Even the monkey-fetching scriptures had to keep running up to heaven for help. And that candy, he takes it home. His kid likes it. He tells the neighbors, the workmates. That's free advertising on this line. Next time we come, maybe without a word there'll be regulars waiting. You can't catch the wolf if you grudge the child. Look long. He forgot to wipe his sweat, staring, turning it over. He'd only ever thought how to cut cost and sell more eggs and buns, never advertising. Favors. It was a new window opening. How's that head of yours made? These twists I never figured. He grinned, dug out a cigarette, handed me one, lit up. Right? You've reason. I've been shallow-sighted. Seems I've things to learn from you. We rode back. On the way I tallied. Candy, soap, toothpaste, mostly sold. System exchanged, no cost, near all profit. Rough count. Over 40 yuan this trip, beating a worker's month-plus wage by a dozen. And only the start. Back at the brigade yard the sight gave me pause. 50 or 60 packed in and around it. All ages, each with some eating vessel, enamel basins, big bowls, mugs, even pots carried straight from the stove, in 2 crooked lines. To give the whole village a taste of meat, the 11-scale pot wasn't enough. Someone had donated another near as big, the 2 steaming, cabbage and bean thread noodles added now. Boar's tough and a male reeks, but long fierce stewing with chili, Sichuan pepper, and spice had buried it. By village custom, a shared pot, pig feast wasn't free. A few liang of grain coupon, a few inches of cloth coupon would do. And it was the old secretary's notion, seeing my patched clothes, to gather cloth coupons for a new set. I parked out of the way and went into the crowd, scanning, and a familiar figure surfaced. A girl of 17 or 18 in washed pale blue trousers and a half-worn pink checked coat, 2 braids, holding a chipped red double happiness enamel basin, up on her toes, craning. Warmth in me. I went over and tapped her shoulder. She jumped, whirled, and at the sight of me her round face lit, eyes curving into crescents. Brother Chong, you're back. My uncle's daughter, my cousin, Su Tzulian. When I'd first come, my aunt had no use for me. Face long all day, another mouth, and one who couldn't manage the fields. But Tzulian had looked after me, sneaking me buns at meals. Later the old secretary had sent me to the station as steward, and I'd moved out. Tzulian, you came for the meal too. Heard the team stewed boar, smells wonderful. Brother Chong, you've no vessel? I'm near the front, I'll get you a share. She hefted the big basin to show it held enough. Warmth, still so honest. I shook my head, pointed at the two steaming pots. No need, Suelian. Know where this boar came from. Where? A boar, they said, a big one. Your brother took it, 300 plus caddies, the boar stones, ran into it in the woods this morning. Eh. She nearly dropped the basin, eyes round, looking me over, disbelieving. Brother Chong, you're not teasing. You won't even watch a chicken killed. 300 caddies. Old hunters can't manage it. Suelian couldn't believe it. Her cousin was timid, wouldn't watch a chicken die, shook at blood. Why would I fool you? Else why's the team stewing meat? It's the reward for that boar. Asked the secretary or team leader Zhao. Zhao Dagon came over just then. As team leader, he wasn't eating first. Suelian, you don't know. The lad hides his depths. Even I misjudged him. With the leader's word, every doubt fell. Her turn at the pot came. My cousin, of course I'd see her looked after. Auntie Lou, a few more pieces of meat for my sister. Right you are. Auntie Lou's wrist flipped a big ladle of thick-sauced meat, noodles, and cabbage into Suelian's basin, heaped over the top. No one minded. Chen Chong had brought the boar. 2 full pots. The whole village would eat. Suelian squeezed out with the heavy basin, shock still on her, came to me, eyes shining, dropping her voice but unable to hide her thrill. Brother Chong, you're amazing. My pa said last night there's a boar problem near the station. Wanted you back in the village a couple days, and you ran into it and killed it. She blamed her mother for it. Her cousin was no stranger. Why the long face all day? Breaking bowls, tossing basins. The house had room, yet they'd driven him to the station to suffer. What reward did the team give you? She asked, just curious. Nothing to hide from my cousin. I told her plain. At 60 yuan plus 3 months' grain, her eyes went rounder, a breath sucked in. Heavens, that much. Brother Chong, you're really something. Money and ration both. The station days would ease. My eyes settled on her. The pink-checked coat washed pale, mismatched patches at elbow and cuff, knees worn thin. A girl of 17 or 18, the age for looking nice. Yet her face roughened by wind and sun, small splits at the knuckles. Something twisted in me. My uncle's house was tight too. She'd likely never worn a decent new garment. Almost without hesitating, I pulled the unsorted wad of Mao notes and yuan notes from the train sale, and, without counting, a dozen odd, I judged, pressed it into her hand. Brother, what are you doing? She jerked back as if scalded. I can't take this. You risked your life for it. You'll need to save to marry. We get by. I closed her hand over it. Take it. Look at you. Thin, face and hands rough. Buy something good, a length of new cloth for a dress. A girl should fix herself up. I can earn more. This is nothing. Before kin, what's money? In Kaoshan, you're my only cousin. Her nose stung, eyes reddening. Her cousin was soft, her own home cool to him through her mother's coldness. Yet with money, his first thought was her. Her lips moved to refuse. I changed the subject. As for marrying, don't fret on my account. Your sister-in-laws come from Teeling. We met yesterday, registered today at the secretary's. Only the feast left. Truly stunned now, mouth wide enough for an egg. She half remembered it. Her cousin betrothed as a child, then his aunt and uncle's trouble. Coming to Kaoshan, everyone thought it dead. Really? Sister-in-law where? Can I meet her? She perked up, looking about. Pocket the money first. I put on a stern face. Don't, and I'll truly be angry. When she gripped it tight, I eased, and dug a white stick from my pocket into her hand. This, clam oil, for hands and face. I'll bring you other rare things next time. She didn't refuse now, clutching money and oil, warm inside. Thank you, brother. I made you new shoes, layered soles, sturdy. I'll bring them. A tender moment. Then, remembering, I caught up to add a word. Don't tell your mother about the money. With my aunt's temper, she'd confiscate it all. My aunt was a pincher, her own house hungry, yet propping up her brother's family. Keep it, buy what you need. I'll bring you something new next time. Suelian thread continues. Not far off, Li Dongmei came out of the room and caught sight of me standing close with a young girl, money and goods passing hand to hand. The girl's eyes red. Her brows shot up. Chen Chong, how long has it been? Lin Hui only gave herself to you yesterday, and here you are, all smiles with some young girl, pressing things into her hand. Look how worked up she is. Shameless, she thought. No man's any good. The fire rushed to her head, and she spun back inside and dragged Lin Hui off the Kong. Come out, look at your chinchong. No time at all, and the fox's tail is out, carrying on with some other woman outside. Lin Hui, bewildered, was hauled out before she could react. Li Dongmei fixed on us at once and bore down, towing Lin Hui, and reaching me gave me no chance to speak. A hard kick to my backside that staggered me. Little cadre, Chin Chong, fine. No time and your true colors show, behind Lin Hui's back, thick with another woman, giving money and gifts. Is that fair to her? Sulian stood frozen. Lin Hui was lost too, looking from my awkward face to the girl. I held my smarting backside, looked back at this fierce woman, and thought how I'd love to teach her a lesson. You wild thing, what are you worked up about? This is my cousin. I held my burning backside and turned on her. The woman's foot was no joke. Cousin. Li Dongmei froze, her momentum stalling, and looked at the girl. Lin Hui realized the mistake too. What? Where'd you get a cousin? Brows knit. She'd thought me an only child. Where'd a grown cousin spring from? Your father took a concubine? I shook my head. Her imagination outran mine. Cousin, my uncle's daughter, Su Tsulian. Comrade Dongmei, can you steady yourself? Charging in without asking and kicking people. She knew she'd gotten it wrong, a flush of awkwardness crossing her face, but her unbending streak pushed it back. Chin up, she said stoutly. A grown man takes one kick. It's nothing. I didn't put much in it. If you're sore about it, kick me back, then. Said in jest. What man truly trades blows with a woman? A good man doesn't fight women. I wouldn't take it seriously. System. Task triggered. A woman's backside is not to be kicked. Requirement. Host delivers one kick. Reward 300 myriad value. System. Not to be kicked. And you want me to kick? System. It's only the title. Don't mind it. Yesterday your wife said no too. And didn't you? Haha. So it was a live broadcast. System. You'll be the death of me. With Li Dongmei's wildness, a kick would have her after my life. Fortune favors the bold. Damn it. Chance it. You said it. Dongmei. No taking it back. And I lifted my leg and gave her round backside a measured kick. Ah. Caught off guard. She stumbled 2 steps, a yelp out before she could stop it. She'd never thought I'd dare. And that posture, that spot. The yelp swung every lingering villager and head-down eater around, dozens of eyes on us. Her cheeks flamed crimson, never so mortified in her life, the wildness from a moment ago gone, wishing for a crack in the ground. Chinchong, you actually kicked. She rounded on me, furious and red, eyes raking the yard for something to hit me with, and even the score. I looked innocent. Didn't you tell me to? I'm a man of my word. You, she stamped. Seeing us about to lock horns again, Lin Hui stepped between, gentle. Enough, you two. In front of all these people, don't make a spectacle. System, task complete, reward credited. System, can I get a few more kicks in? System, not repeatable. Kick if you like, consequences your own. Best not. She's not to be provoked. The onlookers laughed. A few young fellows whistled and got pinched by their wives. I cleared my throat and introduced Tsulian properly. My cousin here in Kaohsiung, Su Tsulian, just turned 18 this year. Tsulian gave a shy smile and a soft greeting. Then she tugged my sleeve, rose on tiptoe to my ear, and asked, in a voice meant for me alone but heard by all 3, Brother Chong, which one's my sister-in-law? I smiled, drew Lin Hui to my front by the shoulder. This is your sister-in-law, Lin Hui. Met yesterday, registered today at the secretary's, only the feast left. Lin Hui colored at being pulled close, thinking how shameless I was before everyone. Hello, Tsuelian. Tsuelian's eyes brightened, looking her over. What a pretty sister-in-law, fair, willow brows and a cherry mouth, plainly good-natured. Her cousin was lucky. She started to call her sister-in-law when Li Dongmei huffed, planted herself, arms crossed. And me? No introduction. I gave her a wry look. This is Comrade Li Dongmei, Lin Hui's good sister, here with us today. Tsuelian obediently said, Hello, Sister Dongmei. But Li Dongmei lifted her chin and, never one to leave a line unsaid, Not sister, call me second sister-in-law. I'm your brother's second wife, so from now on it's second sister-in-law. Tsuelian froze, eyes round, looking from me to Lin Hui and back to Li Dongmei, disbelieving. I tapped the back of Li Dongmei's head lightly, Didn't dare hard. What nonsense. Don't corrupt the child. Lin Hui laughed and tugged her. Dongmei, stop teasing Suilian. Suilian caught on then and burst out laughing. Sister Dongmei, you're a joker. Society's freed now. No two wives. That's against the law. Then, sincerely, but sister-in-law's so pretty, and Sister Dongmei's lovely too. My brother Chong will have it good. That landed right in both women's hearts, and the earlier awkwardness dissolved into ease. A little more chat, and Suilian, checking the sky, said shyly, Brother Chong, sister-in-law, Sister Dongmei. I have to take food home. My parents are waiting. Brother Chong, come to the South Village entrance later. I made you layered sole shoes. It's warming up. Time for a new pair. Warmth in me. Good to have such a cousin. All right, we'll come. Mind the road. Hold it steady. Don't spill hot soup on yourself. Then, remembering, I caught up with one more word. Don't tell your mother about the money I gave you. With my aunt's temper, she'd confiscate it all. Keep it, buy what you need. I'll bring you something new next time. Suilian nodded hard, promising not to let her mother know. I know. Thank you, brother. She said her goodbyes to Lin Hui and Li Dongmei and went off with the basin, light-footed, braids swinging. Watching her go, I felt a tangle of things. My uncle's house was tight, and the aunt was unreasonable. I'd find ways to lend a hand. Stop staring. She's long gone, Li Dongmei said, pulling me back. I glanced at her and put on a stern face. Comrade Dongmei, that temper of yours wants mending. Grown now, can't you steady yourself? Charging in without asking, I'll squawk. Mind yourself, or who'd dare marry you? She bristled like a cat with its tail trod on. What's wrong with me? Plenty line up to court me. Clear from the east end of the village to the west. No need for your worry. With so many after her, she'd surely find one taller than me, better featured, more capable. And I haven't settled your kicking me. You kicked me, I kicked back, even. Huh? Ask around the village. When have I ever come off the loser? She'd never been one to take a loss, least of all kicked before that crowd. The thought scalded her. Stand still, let me kick you once more. I dodged, her foot met air. Stand and wait to be kicked. Do you take me for a fool? Seeing us about to go at it again, Lin Hui stepped between, a hand on each. Enough, you two. The misunderstanding's cleared. Don't give folk a show. They both huffed and looked away, but stopped. The yard had near emptied. The 2 pots of pork stewed with bean thread and cabbage were scraped clean, only dregs left, Auntie Lou and some women scrubbing the 11-scale pots. Those who'd helped did no coupons. The old secretary came over with his dry pipe, pleased, and drew a small sheaf of slips from his coat, sorting them, handing them to me. Xiangzi, here, the grain and cloth coupons the pork brought. Save them, and sometime go to the co-op for new cloth, make a couple of sets. For the wedding you'll want to look the part. I took them in both hands, a few inches here, a few yang there, the village's goodwill. Thank you, secretary. Thank nothing, it's yours by right. He clapped my shoulder, kind-eyed. Live well with Lin Hui. Any trouble, come to me. Lin Hui echoed her thanks. There's food saved for you. I had Annie Lou pack a basin, heat it tonight. It's a way back to the station. Set off while there's light. Auntie Lou brought an enamel basin, heaped with pork and bean thread, a clean cloth laid over it. Here, Xiangzi, Lin Hui, Dongmei, take it. Thanks to Xiangzi today, the whole village had meat. Live well, you too. Lin Hui colored at you too, but thanked her openly. We took our leave and rode back. Later, the old secretary returned to his room and noticed a craft paper packet on the Kong, fine pipe shred inside, not the shop's cheap stuff. Recalling I'd gone to the station with Zhao Dagong, he guessed I'd come by it there. The lad's growing capable. Near the village mouth, from far off, someone stood under the big locust, Suilian, on tiptoe, scanning the road north. Seeing the 3-wheeler, she lit up and waved both arms. Brother Chong, sister-in-law, over here. I braked under the locust. Her cheeks were flushed, brow beaded. She'd run. She held out a blue cloth bundle, a new pair of shoes, rubber-soled. Suilian, you shouldn't have. Don't be a stranger. She smiled. Sister-in-law, Sister Dongmei, careful on the road. I'm off. We rode on. The 2 women and the goods no strain to me. A full haul, this trip. In the bed, besides the soap, matches, needles, and thread from the shop, were cloth sacks, 10 caddies of corn grits, 20 of corn flour, 20 of white flour, and with the coupons in hand, a month's eating for 3. Pedaling, I drew the sheaf of cloth and grain coupons from my coat and handed it back to Lin Hui. Here, you keep these. She took it, what a finger, and counted the red-stamped slips of varying denominations. 1 inch, 3 chi, 5 liang, 1 katimai, so many, I can't keep count. First time in her life, she'd seen so many, hands trembling with the thrill. Li Dongmei leaned to look, clucked, patted my shoulder. Not bad, little cadre. A year unseen, and you've grown capable. Lin Hui won't live hard with you. I laughed, eyes on the road. Let a wheel drift and we'd be in the ditch, but I'm an old hand at driving, the speed steady. This is nothing. I'll work the mountain daily. These hills are a treasure bowl. Save a bit, and I'll put up a few big tile-roofed rooms in Kaohsiung. The station was only temporary, middle of nowhere, no electric line. A television would need a generator too. What the body hadn't dared, I, holding the exchange system, found no trouble at all. The mouse drags the spade. The good days are ahead. The sun was near behind the western hills as we rolled into the station yard, the sky a wash of fire cloud. Made it. I braked and let out a breath. No great strain, but 2 passengers and a load had put a film of sweat on my back. I lifted the grain sacks down first, then the net bag of goods and the basin of pork. Lin Hui and Li Dongmei helped, and we had it all in one trip. Inside was dim, but held the day's faint warmth. I stowed things in the corner, pushed the 3-wheeler into its lean-to, and came back rubbing my hands. In that short while the 2 had set to, the firebox relit, orange flame licking the pot bottom, the big pot filled, Lin Hui bent feeding kindling, Li Dongmei wiping the Kong mat for the meal. Get up and warm yourself, Li Dongmei said without looking up. Food soon. I drank half a gourd of cold spring water at the jar first, and it put the spirit back in me. Simple supper, Lin Hui said, straightening, wiping her hands on her apron. There's noon's buns to crisp in the pot, this basin to heat, and I'll boil a pot of grits porridge. She tipped the basin in. Grits porridge, haven't had it in days, I said. Plenty of water, cook it thick, and pinch a little soda in, so the grits soften. She said, and went for the grits. Li Dongmei raised a brow at me. Oh, you know a fair bit. Course, a proper station worker, self-reliant. I've to know a little of everything, I said, half joking, and stepped to the stove to mind the fire. Off, off. Lin Hui pushed me back gently. Stovework's no place for a man's hands. Wash up and wait on the calm. What age is this? Even the great man said women hold up half the sky. Society's freed. Men and women equal. Aside from bearing children, what can a man do? Li Dongmei snorted a laugh, looking me over with that teasing eye. Not bad, little cadre. A schooled man, more open-minded than the village's old diehards. Lin Hui laughed too, pinching soda into the rolling porridge. The principle's the principle, but it's not how things go here. A man earns work points and does the heavy work outside. Home, the stove and the mending and washing are a woman's part. She stirred slow. Grits porridge wants watching or it scorches. Sit and rest. Don't get underfoot. Knowing the old notion wasn't shifting in a day, I washed at the basin stand and climbed onto the Kong. Soon supper was on the Kong table. Crisp white buns, boar stewed with cabbage and bean thread, a big pot of grits porridge. We sat cross-legged by the oil lamp. I took a piece of meat. Last life, all my chasing after game. And here was the taste, blew on it. Bit. The boar's rankness was buried under the heat of the spice. The meat stewed soft all afternoon, not the tough I'd feared, and good. A mouthful of scalding porridge, all corn sweet. This was living. Li Dongmei ate with her mouth shining with grease, as in a dream she'd not wake from. Hair yesterday, or today, better than New Year at my house. Her home was bitter. Field work for work points, no other income. Meat only at New Year and mid-autumn, and her parents favoring sons, the meat going to her elder brother while she watched and swallowed. I've decided, I'm not leaving. Chin Chong can keep me. 3 buns and 2 bowls of porridge in, and she looked good for more. Eats more than a pig. At this appetite a landlord couldn't keep her, I muttered. After the 2 cleared up, I took the willow basket from behind the door. I'll gather firewood and some coal ash. It's dark, careful, Lin Hui said. Just in the yard. The early spring hills were fine by day, but plunged cold at night. this late frost carrying a bone-deep chill on the night wind. The Kong lived on the firebox and the flue's leftover heat, and if it went cold past midnight, you'd wake frozen. The coal ash for sealing the fire wanted preparing, not so the fire died, not so it burned too hot. I gathered split wood by torchlight, shoveled coal ash, wet it, mixed it. No television, no phone. A mountain night's entertainment is near nil. The lamp's beam of flames stretched our shadows on the newspapered wall. Lin Hui mixed hot and cold water in the basin, tested it on the back of her hand, set it before my feet on the floor. A long day, soak your feet, eases the tiredness. I bent to my shoes. She crouched, naturally, to help with the other and made to wash my feet. This was my own woman, not some bathhouse. I pulled my foot back. No, no, I'll do it. I've hands. I can't have you washing my feet. Her hand stopped midair, and she looked up, puzzled. What's the matter with it? My mother said a woman should wait on her man well, wash his clothes and his feet, bear his children, and that. The 70s, 20 years after liberation, hadn't rooted out the old notions, least of all in the countryside, where a woman waiting on a man was taken for granted and a measure of whether she was a good woman. I, from a later age, carried none of that. Then, let's wash together. She hesitated, nodded, slipped off her shoes, sat on the stool, and at the water's touch her toes curled, head down, ears red. She'd never shared a basin with a man. I was easy, working my feet in the warm water. I'll leave the foot soak there. It eased into the kind of teasing closeness between a married pair, and Li Dongmei, on the far edge of the Kong, watched their byplay and felt the vinegar jar tip over sour. Ahem. She cleared her throat hard, rolled her eyes. Am I a bit extra here? Drawing it out, eyes flicking between us. I didn't look up. If you're that idle, the millstone in the yard hasn't turned in a while. Go push a few rounds, walk off your supper. Chin Chong, she flared. Don't you grin at me. You dared kick my backside. I tell you, that's not finished. You wait. Brave words, but she stayed put, arms crossed, glaring, thinking, though, how odd this lad was. The first man she'd ever seen wash a woman's feet, and willingly. If her own man one day treated her so, she'd bear him a Kong full of children gladly. Washed up, it was late. The bedding was spread and warm. The West Room's Kong wasn't dry, so Li Dongmei had no choice but the one Kong again. I checked the firebox, sealed the flame carefully with the wet coal ash, leaving a dim red core, warmth all night. No need to feed it. No overheating past midnight. Sleep, I said, stripped to my singlet and shorts, and took the wall side. Li Dongmei, in her long underwear, blew out the lamp. The room went black, only faint starlight at the window. A rustle of cloth and a soft slosh of water. The two doing a simple wash with the leftover hot water. A woman keeps clean. Then two shapes climbed up in the dark, into the middle and outer quilts. The room stilled, 3 breaths, and the owl's odd cry outside. I lay warm, the faint scent of the two women in the air, eyes shut but not sleepy. The train trip had cost 300 myriad value and cleared 30-odd yuan. The thing now was to level fast, unlock more of the catalog, and earn on the information gap. How long, I don't know. Half asleep, I felt the edge of my quilt lift and a soft, cool form slide in, a warm hand settling on my chest. Lin Hui, close, her breath warm at my neck. I woke at once, found her hand in the dark and held it, drew her in by the waist. She drew a small breath, stiffened. I bent and found her lips. A faint, suppressed sound escaped her, sharp in the quiet, and she startled, pushing lightly at my chest, flustered. Don't. Brother Chong, no more. I just came to hold you. Nothing else. I laughed low. That won't do. Who told you to come to my door? A sheep into the tiger's den. What tiger sees meat and won't eat? But, Dongmei's right there. She whispered, glancing toward the Kong head. If she hears, I'd die of shame. The lamp was out, and the rest is theirs. Fade to black. The consummation kept clean. In the dark, I told her Dongmei slept like a stone. Thunder wouldn't wake her as a child, and her thin resistance gave way. From shrinking she came round, the dark hiding the shyness. She bit her lip to hold the sounds back, glancing now and then at the Kong head for any stir. I, catching her distraction, teased once and nearly drew a cry, and she clapped a hand over her own mouth. eyes wide. You're wicked. I kissed her brow. It's fine. I said Dongmei hears nothing. And as if on cue, a low snore came from the Kong head. She eased then, arms tight around my back. What she didn't know, Li Dongmei did sleep deep, but too much water had woken her bursting for the privy. Feeling under the pillow for the torch, she found Lin Hui's place empty and heard the stir from the back of the Kong. Never having done the thing herself, she still understood and pulled the quilt over her ears, pretending not to hear, but a full bladder kept sleep off, and the more she tried not to listen, the clearer it came. At last, with Lin Hui's breath steadying into quiet, she slipped down in the dark, felt her way, found the chamber pot, and got her relief. Over a minute of it, near collapsing with the release. Lin Hui, holding her breath, gave my arm a few pinches, all my fault, and darted back to her own quilt, feigning nothing had happened. I lay content and was soon asleep. Dawn, barely light. I dressed, climbed down, took the fire hook to the banked stove, red coal ash still in the firebox. Clear the spent ash, add wood, and it'd catch. Cold still, the grass greened and the trees leafed, but the air 1 or 2 degrees, breath white in the yard. The woodpile was low. I took the hatchet to the hill opposite. The woods had dead larch and birch, fell a few, and its 10 days' fuel. I found a leafless one, its trunk a bare fish spine, spat in my palms, swung, a thigh-thick trunk down to a half-inch hinge in under half a minute. Down the mountain it comes. I called the logger's cry, and it crashed north, branches flying 4 or 5 meters. A few strokes more and the trunk was in segments, willed into the space. The shout carried across the station. Li Dongmei stretched. The warm Kong far better than home, where her father would long since have her up to the fields or the millstone. A big household's chores alone could kill you, and a lion was unthinkable. Seeing the still drowsy Lin Hui beside her, she grinned wickedly and groped her a couple of times. Ah! Lin Hui woke, batting the hands off. Dongmei, what? You frightened me. Li Dongmei wouldn't quit, hands roving. Women among themselves, no qualms. The village wives say a man's touch makes them grow bigger. I never believed it. Let me feel if you've grown. Lin Hui snatched the quilt tight, glancing at the tidy bedding at the back of the Kong. Don't worry, he's off felling trees. No one else here. Be good. Let me look. You haven't you your own? Why mine? Just verifying. I'll not tell a soul. Lin Hui held out, and Li Dongmei sighed, mock-wounded. You've changed, Lin Hui. You used to let me touch anything. Now you guard against me. A man, and you forget your sister. In broad daylight, shame on you. And if Chong comes back and sees, how would that look? Flushed, Lin Hui pulled on her clothes to start breakfast. The stove burned warm. Other men were still abed or smoking on the Kong. Mine had the fire going and was out working. A warmth rose in her. She'd chosen right. Sneaking into his quilt in the night, then sneaking back when you're done, you've learned bad ways. You knew. Lin Hui went scarlet, a child caught out. No, I slept like a dead pig. Thunder wouldn't move me. How would I know? She said it on purpose. Let the two of them be less brazen, making noise at night. Shame on them. Sun through the window, the two still tussling on the Kong. Dongmei, stop, it tickles. Lin Hui dodged the hands, laughing for mercy, flushed, hair mussed. Just one feel, to check if it's true. True about what? Where'd you get such crooked talk? Lin Hui finally caught both her wrists, panting, and kept her off. It's full daylight. Stop, we've breakfast to make. A few more laughing tugs, and they stopped, breathless. Li Dongmei pouted, unsatisfied, but let go. Lin Hui sat up, back turned, riding her loosened underclothes, face still warm. All right, up. Li Dongmei threw off the quilt, yawned. I'll empty the pot. Lin Hui pulled on outer trousers and sweater, smoothed her hair, climbed down. The stove roared, the room warm. She washed her face and rolled her sleeves to start breakfast. Outside, on the slope, I cut the fallen trunk into 2-meter logs, checked no one was about, and willed them into the space. Handy thing, this space, I marveled again. Judging the time about right, I gathered my tools, brushed off the chips, and headed back. In the yard, sure no one watched, I brought the logs out into the corner, stacked neat, took the splitting axe, and set to. Easy work with the pill's strength. Zhang Fei eating bean sprouts, child's play. Soon a man-high woodpile stood by the window. Chong, food, Lin Hui called. Coming. I set down the axe, brushed off, went in. The Kong table was set. A big basin of dough drop soup with egg flour and green onion, a stack of cornflour cakes, a small bowl of pickled Jerusalem artichoke shreds Annie Lu had given. Li Dongmei sat at the Kong edge with a bowl. Lin Hui ladled, giving me the egg flour, and smiled. Wash up, eat. I did, climbed up. She pushed a full bowl to me and handed a cake. A plain breakfast. Li Dongmei bit a cake with the crisp pickle and sighed, content. Easier than home. There I'd be up pushing the mill or feeding pigs. Never a quiet hot meal. Lin Hui sipped, smiling, saying nothing. She felt oddly settled here, simple as it was, with a man who'd risen early and laid in the wood. I bit a cake. The cornflour rough and solid against the wheat sweetness, better the more you chew, and a mouthful of soup. This was living. But my chopstick slowed, my eyes on the pickle dish, gone distant. Lin Hui caught it first, set down her bowl. Brother Chong, what is it? The cake no good? The soup wrong? I'll make something else. I came to. No, don't mistake me. I pointed at the pickled artichoke. I just thought how it's pickle every day, or that bit of winter cellar cabbage and radish, wild greens at most in spring. Could we get some fresh vegetables? Cucumber, tomato, eggplant, even string beans. Li Dongmei near choked, swallowed hard, stared. Are you not awake? Or did the boar knock your brains loose? She said bluntly. Fresh cucumber and tomato. It's April. Where would you get them? Never mind a mountain gully like Kaohsiung. Even in a big city like Teeling, you can't buy fresh greens in winter, unless you've a channel for southern shipped ones. And at what a price? Who but the rich could eat that? True enough. From winter on, the North ate potatoes and cellar cabbage and radish, nothing else, because they keep. Fresh vegetables were a dream. Lin Hui nodded. Dongmei's right. Winters are long here, spring late. There's still ice rime mornings. Even with seed in the ground, it'd freeze. You can't plant the garden till mid-May, when it's truly warm. All true. In the late 70s, most of the country without electricity, transport brutal, northern winter vegetables were an absolute luxury. Hauled by limited rail at ruinous cost and loss, priced past ordinary reach. So the long winter and early spring, the northern table lived on potatoes, cabbage, radish, pickles, and dried greens, until mid to late May when the home garden could be sown. So make do with pickle, and if you can't stomach it, I'll give you noodles at noon. Noodles. The line they'd handed me, though, sparked something. For Li Dongmei and Lin Hui, born to this age, fresh vegetables in an April mountain village were a fairy tale. But I'd come from later. I'd seen and heard of things this age couldn't imagine. One of them, the plastic greenhouse. In the future, a certain place is called China's home of vegetables. Tens of thousands of mu of plastic tunnels growing fresh produce through the cold north winter and early spring, supplying the whole country and making fortunes. Plastic film. The exchange system could conjure it. Real-world film wouldn't do, the light transmission and quality short, but the systems would. With it, a simple warm house on the soil, using sunlight to raise the inside temperature and grow vegetables. I'd no need for anything grand. A small home tunnel, cucumbers, tomatoes, string beans, was wholly feasible. And if it worked, fresh vegetables in the lean early spring would be a rarity, hard currency anywhere, easy to sell. I sank into it, not hearing her call. Brother Chong, Brother Chong. Lin Hui waved a hand before me. Oh. I came back, chopsticks still aimed at the pickle dish, set them down, eyes bright. If we opened a plot now and got vegetables growing, maybe before long we'd truly eat fresh. Li Dongmei nearly sprayed her soup, coughed, looked at me like a half-wit. You really have read your brain soft. I argued it out with you, and it was all wind? Now, April, frost in the mornings, plant, and the seedlings freeze to icicles the moment they sprout. Tell me, plant with what? Your mouth. She set her bowl down, arms crossed, chin up, the unbending streak rising. Fine, Chin Chong. If you're so able, if you can really grow vegetables in this weather, I, Li Dongmei, will call you father 3 times. How's that? Sure I couldn't. I laughed, the wild woman, using a goad on me. The man's competitiveness flared. Done, Li Dongmei, you said it. Half a month's the limit. Inside half a month, I'll grow vegetables in this station yard, and you'll call me father 3 times. Then, who's afraid? And if you can't. I raised a brow. Name it. Her eyes turned, a sly, vengeful smile. If you can't, humph, you empty my chamber pot for a month, every morning on time, and scrub it clean. Dare. A month of chamber pots, a loss of face for a man. But I'd 100% confidence. Done. I put out my hand. A galloping horse can't catch it back, she said, and slapped it hard, the bet sealed. You too. Lin Hui sighed, head aching, torn between exasperation and laughter. Enemies in a past life? A few words and you're at it. Such a childish bet. Eat, before it's stone cold. She added soup to my bowl. Brother Chong, Dongmei's just blunt. Don't mind her. The vegetables can wait for warm weather, no rush. I grinned and ate fast, already reckoning. The film, the frame, all system exchangeable, and I'd grown up in a village, no trouble. Wait for the father. After, I wiped my mouth, fetched yesterday's dirty clothes from the corner, a work cloth coat, patched trousers, 2 pairs of socks, the shorts wrapped inside, bundled them, and held them out to Li Dongmei at the dishes. Here, Dongmei, pay your bet. You said it yourself yesterday, lose and wash my clothes a week. A person keeps their word, right? Grinning insufferably, she was at the washboard. Her eye twitched at the bundle, the 2 ripe socks, the shorts. She gritted her teeth. She'd promised, couldn't welch. Fine, Chinchong, you wait. She took it almost snarling, glared a glare that said old scores and new, together. I wasn't troubled. I whistled and went to ready my hunting gear. On the wall hung the old fowling piece, the powder bag, the hatchet. The piece was for show now. I'd the 98K, far better than that fire poker. Money would be wanted everywhere, and the wedding to hold. Better to run the mountain often. Set, I told Lin Hui. I'll go round the hills, try my luck. Careful, come back early, she said over the pot. I know, and I was off up the mountain. Up the mountain, straight into the trees. With a thought, I swapped the gun in my hands for the 98K, far more security in the woods, near 1,000 meters range and punch enough to drop a black bear in one. The old fowling piece was a chore to load and prone to bursting. System, the vegetable growing I mentioned this morning, can it be done? System, absolutely. Did Song Xiaofeng possess you, that you're stuttering now? Host level 3, current myriad value balance 683. Detecting host intent. Raised to level 4 for 800 myriad value. Unlocking the super farm. Super farm. There's a trial version. Care to try? It's free. I scowled. The system had a mincing way of talking, but free was free. No reason to refuse. I chose the trial, and an interface rose in my head. Select reclamation area. A 3D map of just where I stood, like the QQ farm game the post-90s kids played. I picked a clear patch. Select 1 tap reclaim. The weed-choked ground was turned and broken in an instant. Select 1 tap sow, seeds, corn, wheat, rice. I chose corn, just to see. Sown at once, the kernels in the broken earth. Select growth acceleration. I tapped it, and green sprouts pushed up in a blink, leaves unfurling, the corn jointing up, creak, creak, to 2.5 meters in seconds, tassels topping out, pink silks bursting, the pollen falling, the ears swelling to ox horns, the husks yellowing in under a minute. Select 1 tap harvest. The ears shed their husks, foot-long golden cobs, full kerneled, a dozen filling a crate. Then, seconds later, all reverted, as if nothing had happened. Trial over. Dear, leave a 5-star review for a marrow washing pill. I suspect you're some shopping app's customer service. Review submitted. Reward credited. The super farm was something. Reclaim to harvest in minutes. System, how do I level fast? At your level, 2 options. Hunt the marked target per the map. Option 1. Target 35 kilometers off in primeval forest, a wild adult northeast tiger. Raises you to level 5 with extra reward. Danger. You open with something that big? Fortune favors the bold. No. A 98K in hand. I wasn't swollen enough to solo a northeast tiger in the woods. That boar had near wrung me dry, and I'd only beaten it by a fluke. A grown tiger runs 200 to 300 kilos, a bite of 450, a single swipe enough to shatter bone. And the red mark sat in deep Chongbai, a true no-man's land the old hunters never dared near. Warm wife and warm Kong barely enjoyed, I'd no wish to go die. Option 2. Per the map, kill the designated quarry within 2 hours. Success levels you and gives 500 myriad value. Failure deducts 500. 3 red dots appeared. Nearest 2 kilometers, farthest 7. Rough mountain, brush and scrub. On time, no easy thing. No free lunch, chance it. I accepted. A countdown began. Marrow washing complete, 3 attribute points. This time I put all 3 into speed. Strength 20, agility 12, speed 15. 3 points, nearest to farthest. I quickened, threading the birch stands without pause, and soon reached the first. A hare cropping new grass. Hopping, stopping, ears up, wary, the spring shoots a treat after the long winter. 50 meters, I stopped, raised the 98K, the crosshair on its head. Bang, through the scope, the head hold clean, the recoil aching my shoulder. I stowed the gun, ran over, took it by the ears, blood still dripping, willed it into the space. No rest, second target, 2.8 kilometers, another bearing. I doubted 2 hours was enough for a dozen-odd kilometers of mountain plus the kills. Barely time to walk it. Never mind relieve yourself. But the pill strengthened body's speed and stamina were so improved that slopes felt like flat road. I reached the second with 65 minutes left. 30 meters ahead, a 30 or 40 catty piglet boar lounged in a wallow, tail flicking mud onto itself, grunting. Its meat would be tender, unlike the rank-grown one. As I raised the 98K, it sensed danger, rolled up, saw me, and bolted. Run? Too late. The crosshair was already locked on the back of its skull. I held my breath and squeezed. Bang! The recoil slammed my shoulder socket, but my lower body, marrow strengthened, held firm. Through the scope the round took it, the body lurching forward, legs stiffening, and it crashed into the leaves and dirt, twitched twice. Still, the bullet through the head, a clean exit hole. What power! With the old fouling piece, I'd have had to close right up and still might not kill in one. The 98K was a hunting marvel. I went over, drew the short knife, found the neck artery, and bled it, timely bleeding the key to tender, untainted meat. Then willed the 30-some catty carcass into the space. Second done. The third red dot lay northwest, about 2 kilometers. The countdown read 55:13. Time enough, but the concentration wanted easing. I dug out the Guantang Pak Lin we had bought, and an old smoker, lit one, the old brand smoked fine. Around me the spring woods brightened in the morning sun, the far ridges sharp, the near buds opened a touch more, the dawn chill burned off. In winter Changbai lies under deep snow, knee-deep, waist-deep in the hollows. Now the melt ran in countless threads down the gullies into clear brooks, all bound for the main channel and the mighty Songhua. The turning of life, plain to see. I ground the butt out under my heel, scuffed dirt over it. Fire sense must be bone deep in the woods, and pressed on. The pill-strengthened body showed its stamina. Up slopes, through brush, speed undimmed, breath only a little quick. With 35 minutes left, I reached the third mark early. Open second growth, low scrub, and just greening grass. I slowed, crouched, worked forward under cover, scouting open and ticking down my will, but sharpening my sense of everything around. 60 or 70 meters off, in a glade, the target. A grown roe deer, a touch bigger than a goat, yellow-brown with a bright white patch at belly and rump, head down, pink tongue working at a gray-brown rock, ears swiveling. Not foolish, as the name has it. Animals lick salt frost from rock for the minerals they can't get as we do. I'd only seen the famed Northeast sacred beast in videos and documentaries. Live, in this setting, was a novelty. Target, Northeast sacred beast, the roe deer. Strength 12, agility 18, speed 20. Speed 20, higher than I'd thought. No catching it on 2 legs, so it had to be one shot. I sank down, eased the 98K off my shoulder, set the crosshair on the vitals just above the heart, an angle to slip between the ribs into heart and lung. It seemed unaware, licking on, glancing about now and then, but not finding the hunter 70 meters back. Finger on the cold trigger, breath held, muscles tightening, about to squeeze. Gwa, gwa gwa. A pheasant's harsh cry burst without warning from the trees farther ahead, shrill, echoing through the valley. It startled me. My finger jerked. Bang! But my arm had risen a hair, the muzzle off, the round screaming over the deer's head, under half a meter, to bury itself in the pine behind in a spray of splinters. Damn it! A miss. At the shot, the roe deer's head shot up, ears bolt straight, and on raw instinct it kicked off and plunged up the slope into the trees, the heart-shaped white of its rump flaring like a flag, bobbing as it ran, its yellow-brown shape gone over a lee in a blink, fast. Cursed pheasant. No earlier, no later. The duck? No, the roe meat, in my mouth, flown. Countdown 31:48. After it. A failed task cost 500 myriad value, a loss I wouldn't take. I shot up, cover forgotten, and ran the way it had fled. It bounded over branch and stone like flat ground, near gone, but the holographic map carried its red, moving on a rough bearing, which spared me blind searching. I drove my legs, an arrow off the string, the pill's strength putting my speed past any man's, dodging obstacles, eyes on the flickering shape in the map, speed to the limit. It stopped. 3 or 4 minutes on, the dot quit moving, about 100 meters ahead, still. I softened my steps, crept up under cover. The 98K's range is near 1,000 meters, but only in the open. In dense woods, sightlines broken. I'd need under 100, closer, to be sure. Countdown 2,200 hours. At last, behind a thick birch under 80 meters off, I steadied my breath after the sprint and eased half out, raising the 98K. In the scope, the roe deer had stopped, sniffing the air, no rush to flee, the heart-shaped white rump and the flicking tail. A chance. Finger on the trigger, crosshair sliding to the vitals. Close enough now, the view clear. Breath held, muscles tight, about to squeeze. The deer, as if eyes in the back of its head, kicked off like a sprung spring and shot away into the deeper woods to the rear side. And in the leap, it even glanced back toward my hiding place, as if taunting. Damn it, my trigger finger froze. 80 meters became 150, 200, 250 on the map. The brute, it did that on purpose. Only now did I see. It hadn't stopped to rest. It had long caught my scent and stopped to lure me close, then sprung the moment I neared, toying with me. Take me for a fool. Countdown 18:05. After it, I won't believe this. Then the nightmare loop began. For a dozen-odd minutes, I was the clown. Every time I closed, dog-tired, found a firing spot, held my breath to shoot, the cursed thing reacted in the last instant before my trigger pull, bursting away with that startling spring, my aim falling on nothing. And sometimes it would stop, look back, the flared white rump like a jeer. Come on, chase me. I ran wheezing, soaked, lungs a broken bellows, legs lead, going on willpower alone. Even a strengthened body couldn't take this pace. The team's donkey was never worked so hard. I can't, truly can't. Countdown 0:31. The map put it 500-odd meters off, a slope and dense conifers between, no catching it. I gave out, legs buckling, and dropped onto a patch of flat new grass, the gun flung aside, chest heaving, gulping the cold air, eyes swimming, ears ringing, every muscle aching to its limit. The countdown hit 19, finished, the task lost, the roe meat gone, and 500 myriad value owed besides. So this was the trap in option 2. I'd thought time ample, never that a roe deer would be harder to catch than a monkey, the best chance ruined by a pheasant, which I'd shoot a few of on the way home. Countdown 0:15. 0:10. I shut my eyes for the penalty, and at 5 seconds, a faint rustle came from the scrub not far off. My eyes flew open, heart near stopping. The very roe deer that had run me to a dead dog had doubled back from the side of its flight and was poking its head out of the brush. Black eyes round with pure curiosity, head tilted, studying me sprawled motionless on the ground, as if wondering, this odd two-legged creature chased me so fiercely, why is it lying down now? Dead, like people, drawn to a spectacle. It even ventured out, stepping toward me, stopping about 20 meters off on open ground, no tall trees to block the view. Time seemed to freeze, and my head went clang, the old tale of the roe deer. A curiosity so great that chase it and it runs for its life, but stops suddenly or play dead, and it can't resist coming back to see what you're up to. Now, I summoned the last of my strength, snatched the 98K, and half lying, half sitting, with no proper stance, aimed by feel and muscle memory. The deer sensed it, ears twitching, body shrinking to bolt again, but this time I gave it no chance. Bang! The shot rolled through the weary woods a last time. In the scope the body jolted, a burst of red mist at the head, and it folded, legs twitching, still. 20 meters. The 98K's power devastating. Countdown 2, 1. Task complete. Designated targets killed, 3 of 3. Level up, 3, 4. Myriad value plus 500. Balance, 1183. Level up, super farm unlocked. Newbie gift pack received. I let the gun fall to the grass and sprawled back, gasping at the bits of sun through the leaves, a foolish, disbelieving grin spreading. I'd been sure I'd failed, and the quarry I couldn't catch in half an hour had come to me. Made it. Curiosity does kill the roe deer. After a dozen seconds, I dragged myself up to the dead buck, grown, sizable, 50 or 60 caddies of meat. Bled it expertly, willed it into the space. Past 11. Best get back. I worked my aching limbs and headed for the station hut. About 300 meters out I stopped, checked no one was near, and brought the catch from the space. Shouldered the roe deer, the heaviest at 50 or 60 caddies, the piglet boar in one hand, the hare in the other. Before the yard I smelled wood smoke and steaming food. The gate stood open, the outer stove smoking, Lin Hui and Li Dongmei busy around it. Lin Hui in an apron feeding the firebox, Li Dongmei at the board with a knife. Hearing steps, Lin Hui looked up, broke into a heartfelt smile, and came to meet me. Brother Chang, you're back. Wash up, eat. Then her eye caught the catch on my shoulder, and she stammered. You brought all this. Heavens, that much meat, a month's worth. She'd seen hunters come back with a hare or pheasant and count it good, but never a man shouldering and carrying like this. Li Dongmei turned, knife forgotten in her hand, and came to look. Well now, half a day out, and you bring back this much meat. Tone hard as ever, but admiring at heart. Hunting's not for just anyone. I set the catch down, washed at the jar. Luck today, a hare and a piglet boar, and this roe deer. I paused, recalling the chase that near broke me, and shook my head wry. Some doing, but not a wasted trip. I went to the stove. What's cooking? Smells good. Lin Hui, still not over the shock, pointed at a covered basket. You said this morning you wanted fresh greens. I went round nearby, dug shepherd's purse and dandelion, washed and chopped them, mixed in flour, steaming wild greens dumplings. In a famine year, wild greens were a blessing. Even white grassroots dug up and ground for food. She'd been small, but remembered the hunger, and even with money and grain now wouldn't waste, living careful. Warmth in me. She'd taken my offhand words to heart and gone digging. Wild greens dumplings are good. They clear the heat. The meat can wait for the afternoon. After we eat, I'll dress these at the river. It's cool here, cleaned and salted and hung in the shade. The meat keeps a good while. She nodded hard and turned back to the fire. This man could hold up a household, the day's brightening. These piglet cuts are tender, the roe meat fragrant. I'll cook tonight, steam you big meat buns, said Li Dongmei, eyeing the catch. Sure now she'd come to the right place. White buns and meat daily, every day like New Year. Didn't you say you'd give me noodles tonight? I said it and shot Li Dongmei a glance. Bent over the firebox, she answered without looking up. Fine. Noon we eat Lin Hui's greens dumplings. Want my noodles? We'll see tonight. Plainly, she hadn't caught the little double meaning. I grinned and let it lie. Near noon, and 20 kilometers of running for the hunt had me hungry. Lin Hui judged the time, lifted the heavy wooden lid with a rag, and a white cloud of steam billowed up. As it thinned, on the bamboo rack sat a dozen-odd fist-sized flat dumplings, skins glossy from the steam, the wild greens tender green showing through, appetizing. Mind the heat. I stepped in and took the scalding rack before she could. My hands don't fear it, and carried it in. The Kong table was set. A big plate of steaming greens dumplings, a small basin of sow thistle dressed with vinegar, and a few drops of sesame oil, 7 or 8 potatoes cooked under the rack with their skins split to show the mealy yellow, and a basin of rice porridge. Plain, but good living for the age. A bite, the dumpling's skin chewy with flour, the inside the fresh scent of shepherd's purse and dandelion with the wild bitterness, a mouthful of the sour bitter sow thistle, then warm porridge or a mealy potato, and the belly filled. These greens dumplings are good. I could eat 5 straight, I praised. Lin Hui smiled, eating small bites, satisfied at the approval. Slow down, no one's racing you. Next time I'll steam a whole extra rack. Eat till you burst. A simple lunch, soon done. Dishes cleared, I'd no rest. The meat would spoil if the offal sat. I shouldered the roe deer and took up the piglet boar for the river. Lin Hui wanted to help, but I wouldn't have her. Timid, in memory. Don't come, the riverside's cold, and the bloody work's no sight. Wash up here in boil water, we'll want it when we're back. She nodded and tidied the stove. Then Li Dongmei came out with a pig knife, in one of my old coats, sleeves rolled high. I'll go, 2 pairs of hands are faster. No brooking it. Living in another's house, eating his food, she'd put in her share. I looked at her, surprised. It's dirty, gamey work. What's a girl crowding in for? Nightmares tonight, what the Kong? Pa, who do you take me for? Brows up, she fired back. At 7 I climbed the wall to watch the team's year-end pig killing. At 12 I was up close handing the knife and catching the blood basin. Chickens and ducks at home, whose hand but mine? These are dead things, what's to fear? Quit dawdling, the meat won't keep in this heat. Firm, and right, another hand was faster. All right, but mind me, the bank's slick, don't fall in. I know, nag. She waved me on. We went down the wooded path to the little river, 2 or 3 meters wide, clear to the pebbled bottom and the odd minnow, cold with snowmelt off the heights. I didn't wash in the river itself. It was the station folks' water for vegetables, rice, even drinking. Fouling it with blood and offal would be a rotten thing. I found a flat slab off the main channel as a bench, set the roe deer and piglet on it, and drew 2 pails of clear water. Which first? Li Dongmei was eager, the knife glinting. The roe deer, it's the more trouble. She crouched without hesitation, left hand on the neck, right wrist flicking, the tip circling the hind leg joints, then down the belly midline to the throat. Fast, sure, just through the skin, not the muscle. Set the knife down, gripped the cut edges, and tore. With a rip the hide peeled like a coat. Deft enough to leave me staring. What are you gawking at? Hold this side. I came to and helped. In under 10 minutes, with her near-professional hands, a whole head and hoof hide came off, laid glossy on the slab with little blood. A few clean strokes took off head and 4 trotters into a spare pail. Then she opened the belly along the skinning line, careful through muscle and membrane, a warm gust and a thicker blood smell rising, and drew out heart, liver, lung, stomach, intestine one by one, sorted on the slab, orderly. No squeamishness at all. I washed with my heart in my mouth, muttering inside. This wild woman, what a ruthless hand. That knife, that nerve. Whoever marries her had best not rile her, or he'll be in pieces. I touched my own neck. Cavity rinsed. She had me move the deer aside to drain and started the piglet. The steps much the same. The 2 pails soon murky red. Then she caught my odd, wary stare. It's nothing. Or your noodles, I'll pass on them. If the wild woman knew my little ulterior meaning, she'd come at me for my life. What did you say? My voice was low, the river covering it. She hadn't caught it. Nothing. Just, I never noticed you could do all this. Of course, I can't sit in your house all day and be fed, she said, proud. Go, 2 more pails, wash it clean. I fetched water twice more, the 2 carcasses and the main offal rinsed. The intestines and stomach that need turning she had scrubbed with wood ash and coarse salt several times, then rinsed in flowing water well downstream, away from the drawing point. Looking at the cleaned meat, she wiped her brow, satisfied, straightened, worked her stiff legs, and gazed at the clear water and the green hills across. This station's a fine place. Hills, water, meat, and freedom. I'm staying put for good. Watching her sweat-damp temples, I saw, suddenly, another side to the wild woman. A poor home, a bachelor elder brother above her, a younger brother to mine below. She'd had to make herself into a man. Given the choice, who wouldn't rather sit on the warm Kong stitching sawls? All right, if you're willing, when the station's houses go up, a room's yours, I said, half jest, half not. You said it, little cadre, a grown man, no taking it back. Her eyes lit. Chin Chong's word is a nail in one spit, I said, thumping my chest. But don't call me little cadre anymore. My parents are no cadres, long stripped of it. The name was just childhood habit, no slight in it. They were still at the farm under labor reform, a letter a month. How were they faring? By the timeline, near the time for their names to be cleared. Small matter, she waved, already reckoning over the meat. Never in her life so much to eat. At New Year, each village household got but 2 caddies of pork, just enough for one night's pork and sauerkraut dumplings. The roe legs best, for stew or roast. The loins tender, for stir-fry. The belly meat with the boar, minced tonight for big buns. Her eyes curved to crescents, nothing gladder than meat. Everyday meat from here on. Never dreamed of such good days. Easily contented, these people of the age. Eat your fill. Live off the mountain by the mountain. Keep your legs busy, and I'll have you sick of meat. I shouldered the cleaned roe deer and a pail of heart and liver. Li Dongmei took the pail of washed innards and, effortlessly, the side of piglet, the hide we'd fetch later, scrape and clean and sun-dry to lay on the kong, warm to lie on. Back at the hut, Lin Hui had swept the yard clean, a big pot of water steaming. Her eyes lit at the cleaned meat, the red fine-grained roe meat and the marbled piglet, plainly tenderer than yesterday's big boar. So much. She came to help, joy and a little disbelief on her, then reckoned. Brother Chong, we can't eat all this soon. Shall we set aside 2 portions, about 5 caddies of roe meat with 2 of piglet, to take the old secretary next time you're in Kaohsiung? And 1 for cousin Suelian, so your uncle's family gets a taste too. Soft-voiced, asking, the meat wasn't hers to give. Things are easier for us. We mustn't forget those who helped us, who were good to us. The secretaries always looked after you. And Suelian thinks of her cousin. Warmth flooded me. A wife not only diligent, but fine-hearted and grateful. Of course, we thought alike. I meant to go to Kaohsiung tomorrow anyway, and to the train to see what else I can pick up. I'll take the meat. The secretary likes his couple of cups, and roe meat's the best with drink. Your uncle's house is tight. They should see some meat. She brightened and went for the knife to portion it. Li Dongmei and I salted and rubbed the rest to keep it. High here, the spring nights still cold, even the odd frost, and hung salted in the shaded eaves it would keep a month easily. The meat split. Lin Hui set to again. Half a bowl of flour cooked to a thick paste on the banked fire. The rough yellow hemp paper from the Kaohsiung shop cut into strips. Pasting the window cracks. She said, not stopping. These spring days the wind blows hard every afternoon, and our old window frame's loose, the gap's big, the night wind drives right in. Paper over the cracks, and it keeps a lot out. She brushed warm paste into the frame gaps, laid the strips, smoothed them, practiced, plainly used to housework. I helped, and we soon had the windows sealed. Then she brought out a big crock with a gray-white block soaking in clear water. What's this? Lime paste, never seen it. I mean to whitewash the 4 walls with a brush. White walls make the room clean and bright. Watching her arrange these small but real household matters in order, I felt much. The body, alone here, had made do. Dirty, untidy, cold answered only with more wood. Different now, with a woman keeping it. The home cleaner, better to live in. Keeping house, it does take a woman. Lime paste, a wall whitewashing material, common in the countryside before the 90s. Hard as stone, soaked in warm water before use. I wasn't idle either. I went to the yard, found a long pole, lashed a balding old feather duster to one end with hemp cord. Dirty, tiring work, a man's job. Don't rush to paint. The loose dust on the walls comes off first. I raised the pole and knocked the cobwebbed grime off the rafters and corners. It sifted down through the shaft of window light. Lin Hui wrapped her hair in a kerchief and handed me a rag to cover my nose and mouth. After the high places, I took the Kong broom and swept the 4 walls, knocking down the old dust and loose plaster. By then the lime in the crock had dissolved, and Lin Hui brought out the stout reed bundle wall brush she'd bought at the shop. Thick, holding a good load of lime water, broad coverage. I'll paint. You watch it doesn't drip everywhere. I took the brush. I'd done this as a boy, knew the steps, and the climbing, strength work was mine to take. She didn't argue, handed me a low stool to stand on, and ready to rag and basin to wipe drips. The house was low, but for the floor needing the stool, I could reach the roof from the Kong. Sleeves up, I loaded the brush and ran it even across the top of a wall, leaving wet white tracks, working down stripe by stripe, careful and thorough, then a vertical pass once it had set a little, so nothing was missed. Lin Hui followed, head up, wiping any drip from the Kong mat or sill at once. We worked in step. The lime smell hung sharp, but watching the gray, stained, cracked earth walls go white bit by bit gave a hard-to-name gladness. Doing this always meant New Year was near. The outer firebox burned steady, the room warm enough that I sweated. The heat sped the lime waters drying. Meanwhile, in the yard, Li Dongmei was at it too. Past noon, the sun warm, she brought out the wash basin and started on the dirty clothes. Hers and Lin Hui's first, then, with a wrinkle of her nose, resignedly picked up the soap from my pile. This soap really does work, she muttered. The soap I'd produced wasn't the co-op's hard, scant-lathering yellow bar. A few rubs, and it cleaned, lathered well, saved effort. Collars and cuffs came clean with a little working. Her own and Lin Hui's done. She eyed my heap. The work cloth coat, trousers, socks, and the worn-through shorts, colored faintly, grumbled under her breath about my nerve, but gritted her teeth and scrubbed it all, wrung it, hung it on the cord strung in the yard. The wet clothes swayed in the breeze, clean with soap and water. Looking at the row, the shorts worn through at the crotch, she filled in the picture herself, flushed, and couldn't help laughing. They say men are hard on clothes. Turns out hard on shorts too. Inside, I moved fast. 3 rooms, not much wall, and brisk hands. In a bit over half an hour all the walls were done. White, still damp traced. The whole place transformed. Lin Hui, in the blue kerchief, a few flecks of white on her face like a little calico cat, took the rag and started another round. Cupboard, table, sill, every corner wiped. Even the empty jars on the cupboard scrubbed clean. Then she looked up at the ceiling. The newspaper pasted there to keep off dust had yellowed and curled over the years, black rafters showing through in spots, and with everything else clean it jarred. "Shall we repaper the ceiling too?" she said, a touch reluctant, mindful that I'd hunted all morning and not rested since lunch. "Done. I've been eyeing it. Let's get it all clean at once." She brought the big sheets of hemp paper, thicker and tougher than the window kind, brushed paste on the board below while I stood on the stool, laying the pasted sheets up one by one. She handing up, pointing out bubbles and patches, I aligning and smoothing. 2+ hours, both of us sweat-soaked and smeared with white and paste. Until the last sheet was up, I hopped down with a long breath, and we looked round and both smiled. I stepped to her, meaning to brush a fleck off her face, forgetting my hand was lime water and only smeared it worse. As I did, my hand started, on reflex, toward her collar. She shoved it off, too late. "What are you doing? Dongmei's right outside." She turned quick to the window. Li Dongmei was boiling water in the yard, hadn't noticed, and let out a breath, rolling her eyes at me. Pawing in broad daylight. If Dongmei saw, where'd my face be? I grinned and pulled my hand back. A man sees his wife and his mind wanders. I washed at the jar and handed her a wet towel. Face clean, I looked at the maid over home and at her tidying tools, and said, "Lin Hui, tomorrow I'll take you and Dongmei back to Kaoshan." "Tomorrow? Something on. The house is settled, so it's time. Buy cloth at the co-op, make you and Dongmei each a new set, and pick up a few household odds. Yesterday's boar had fed the village, and they'd not eaten free. Chipped in cloth coupons, over 2 zhang of it. In this age clothes were all cut and hand-sewn by the women, a zhang for a man's outfit, 7 chi for a woman's." Lin Hui glanced at her own patched, but still good clothes. "I've things to wear. No need to waste money. Get Dongmei some. She came with hardly any." "Both of you," I said, no argument. "And not just cloth. We'll see the old secretary, ask him to pick us a good day." "A day? A good day. Right here at the station. 2 tables. Hold our wedding properly. Then you're my Chun Chong's wife, wed in the open. In our tradition, marriage isn't slapdash. First the betrothal gifts, but since she'd run from home, those could be waived. Then have the village's reckoner choose an auspicious day and tell kin and friends to gather. Just the 2 of us would be too bleak." She froze, then flushed to her ears, mouth opening on nothing, throat dry, heart racing. Registered and made husband and wife already. But to hear "hold the wedding" still set her trembling with nerves and joy. She ducked her head, a soft "I'll do as you say." Afraid I'd not hold myself in, I turned and went out through the door curtain. The fresh-painted, fire-warmed room was damp and close. The yard's cool wind cleared my head. Lee Dongmei had 2 pots boiled and was filling the thermos. She glanced at me. "Done?" "The room's like a snow cave, bright enough to dazzle. Course, look who fixed it." A little smug, I lit a cigarette, the afternoon's tiredness easing with the smoke. "One more trouble, my shorts have a hole. Mend them?" And I walked off toward the back of the house, leaving her grinding her teeth. "Don't push it." Behind the house lay a fair patch of open ground, once weeds and scrub with a few low wild crab apples, flat, the soil decent. I'd been turning the vegetable idea over and meant to set it up now. A thought sank in, the system surfaced. Super farm, unlocked. Host level 4. Operable area, 20 SQM, myriad value, 1183. Here it is. I picked the sunniest, flattest patch, about 20 square meters. Reclaimable area detected. Perform 1-tap reclaim. Cost, 50 myriad value. Confirm. Executing. The scene shifted subtly. The dense weeds and scrub on that patch withered and vanished before my eyes. Not cut or pulled, but as if broken down and absorbed. No residue. Then the soil turned and leveled itself. Dark brown earth lifted and crumbled soft and even. The tangled roots and stray stones gone soundlessly. Silent, swift, a dozen odd seconds, and a patch of loose, worked earth lay before me. What efficiency! By hand, with mattock and spade, half a day wouldn't clean and turn it so thoroughly. Only, the area did look small, about 20 square meters. Area limited by farm and host level, raises as you level. Proceed? Small's fine. Intensive cultivation, I consoled myself. 20 square meters of daily vegetables is about right for 3. Next, a tunnel. Open planting would freeze by night. I asked the system for the materials. Exchange simple bamboo and wood frame, 20 SQM, 40 myriad value. Exchange thickened plastic film, 20 SQM, 60 myriad value. The materials appeared, and at a thought they self-assembled. The frame sinking into the earth, crossing and joining into a low arch. The wide film settling over it, edges buried and pressed in, leaving a battened, openable flap on the sunward side for ventilation. A miniature plastic greenhouse, up in a blink. The system, handy as ever. Next, sowing. I recalled the newbie gift pack from leveling. Open newbie gift pack, 10 kinds of seed. Level capped, all basic, common outside. Tomato, cucumber, cabbage, eggplant, string bean. 1-tap sow. The seed packets vanished. Small pits appeared even across the soft soil. The differently shaped, colored seeds dropped precisely in and covered, depth and spacing optimized. Professional looking, done in seconds. Last step. My eyes went to growth acceleration at the bottom. Basic growth acceleration modestly shortens the natural growth cycle, effect varying by crop and environment. Cost, 100 myriad value per use. Uses remaining 2. 100 to go. It stung, but for fresh vegetables soon I gritted my teeth. Use it. Confirmed, 100 deducted, basic acceleration started. I crowded to the film flap and squinted in. The just sown black earth changing at a level barely visible, the soil staying moist, and soon fine green sprout tips pushing through the surface, slow, but far past natural speed, the first pair of seed leaves spreading. Cucumber, tomato, bok choy, the different shapes coming up one after another. Far from mature, but the sprouting thrilled me. The interface showed cucumber, early growth, EST maturity 240 hours. Tomato, 336. Eggplant, 360. String bean, 200. Bok choy, 168. The fastest, bok choy, 7 days. Cucumber 10. Eggplant, the slowest, 15. 10 days, huh? A stone off my chest. This Taoist is about to win. I was already picturing Li Dongmei goggling and calling me father. That father was as good as mine. The sun sank behind the western ridge, ringed by tall hills. The station darkened fast, the far peaks gone to a blue-black silhouette in moments, the mountain wind turning colder. I clapped imaginary dirt off my hands and turned to go in. And just then, oh, whoa, widow. A long, shrill, carrying howl rose from the deep old forest far off, echoing through the still dusk valley, clear and chilling. Wolves, more than one. Ah, Lin Hui's short cry came from inside almost at once. Li Dongmei shot upright from the stove, rolling pin still in hand, face pale, staring toward the dark woods. I came to the door. Both stood there, plainly frightened, Lin Hui leaning toward me. Grown up only hearing of wolves, never seeing one. Brother Chong, is it wolves? Her voice shook. Childhood was full of the elders' tales of wolves carrying off children and killing livestock. A deep scar. Li Dongmei, bold as she was, gripped the rolling pin, feigning calm. It won't come here, will it? I knew they were scared. A grown man flinches at that sound too. Don't frighten yourselves. By the sound it's far, 7 or 8 kilometers off, over that mountain. I pointed out the window, though it was dark. Wolves are cunning. They know the station always has people, strong hands with weapons, and that the station culls them in the hills every year to keep the packs down. They skirt where people are, won't come close. A pack together, even a tiger gives ground. In the 70s and 80s, near the hills, you heard of wolf sightings often, holed up by day, out by night. Seeing their color ease a little, I added, and our house, thick walls, small sturdy windows, a solid door. Even if some fool wolf came sniffing, it couldn't get in. And I've a gun, 1 shot, 1 kill. I nodded at the fouling piece on the wall. It could still do a little. Lin Hui, looking at my steadiness, let her fear ebb, breathing out. Good. I just heard too many wolf stories small. Li Dongmei eased too. Then, embarrassed at her own start, waved the rolling pin and said loud, right, afraid of it? Let it come, an extra dish. I've never had wolf meat, though she still snuck another glance at the black window. I cautioned, but from now, dig greens and gather wood near the house. Don't go deep, for safety, and there may be other hunters' traps and snares about. Got it, they said. Hungry by then. Li Dongmei had set the dough half an hour back and would cook. The dough should be rested. Chin Chong, wait for your sister's noodles. I'll stuff you full. The rested dough, kneaded again for Chu, she rolled out on the board, dusted with corn flour so it wouldn't stick, rolled onto the pin and pressed forward, over and over. Roe meat stewed on the stove, water heating for the noodles, the room warm, 24, 25 degrees. Li Dongmei had taken off her sweater, down to a white undershirt. A note for the age. Through the 50s to 70s, ideology treated such garments as immodest. In summer, women had to cover arms and legs, and anything revealing drew sharp criticism, even discipline. Proper undergarments weren't common until the 80s. Crude vest and simple bra things modeled on Soviet patterns, for cover more than ornament. I'll skip the ogling the source dwells on. She was warm and working, and that's the plain of it. She wiped her brow, caught me looking, and raised the rolling pin in mock threat. What are you staring at? Eat what's in your bowl, and I the pot too. Mind your eyes don't fall out. She rolled her eyes at me, forgetting this fellow had not just looked but twice over, in that desperate revival, when neither of us had thought of anything but keeping me alive. Foolish of her, she thought now, letting him take advantage. I caught myself and leaned back, wary she'd really swing the pin. No, hear me out. I started, then caught my own slip and changed tack. I was thinking, those two of yours, always hanging loose, that's no good either. The weather's warming, you'll wear less. Like now, the clothes don't cover it. I'm a normal man. If I didn't sneak a look, I'd be ill. She reddened. Such things weren't said aloud. But only Chin Chong spoke so plainly, and shameless as it sounded, it wasn't without sense. Come summer, men go in singlets or bare-chested in big shorts. But women must stay covered close or face talk, and field work and sweat make it misery. What else can I do? Clap 2 bowls over them, she said, helpless, miming it at Lin Hui, who dodged. You've your own, measure those. She dropped 3 poached eggs into the not yet boiling water. Said idly, but it pricked an idea in me. This was the early reform and opening years. Much of the new came up from the south, the coastal cities. The old ways were due to change. With the weather warming and women fretting over exposure, if I exchanged women's undergarments from the system, surely they'd sell. They say a big chest means an empty head, but, Dongmei, your head works fine, I said. You asking for it? Insult me again, and no noodles. Where'd she even hear big chest empty head? I wondered. Don't mistake me. Yesterday on the train with team leader Zhao, the women said the big cities all wear undergarments. I sketched the shape, credit to her, imagining a thing she'd never used. About like you said, tomorrow when I'm trading I'll see if there's a way to get you both a couple. Lin Hui put in. Her family had a relative who'd done well in the South. I've seen what you mean. My cousin came back from the South at New Year wearing one. Called a milk cover, I think. A milk what? City folk and their names. Li Dongmei laughed. The three grown up together, living in one room, no shyness. If it's that useful it'd be handy going out. You don't know the size, too big or small, and there's no exchanging it, she said. I waved it off, easy for me. Don't worry, I know your size is better than you do, I said, and kept the cruder reckoning to myself, lest the wild woman blow up. There are women on the train. I'll have them help with a reference. The dough rolled. She folded and cut it into even strands with a steady, practiced hand, dropped them in the boil, stirred so it wouldn't overflow. A minute, done. A heaping bowl, a ladle of roe meat topping, carried to me herself. Here, taste your sister's noodles, you'll want more after. The roe meat marbled, fragrant, and tender. The noodles springy, smooth, better than any restaurants in my last life. A clove of raw garlic cut the richness with a sharp bite. These noodles are good. I praised through mouthfuls. Noodles good, the topping fragrant, far better than yesterday's boar. Not flattery, roe meat is fine-grained, tender, far less gamey and tough, and Li Dongmei's hand was good, the heat just right, the salty savory topping rich on the hand-rolled noodles. I ate till my nose tip sweated. Lin Hui ate small bites, mouth-watering all the same. Sister Dongmei's noodles are wonderful, and roe meat my first time, so good. Li Dongmei, seeing us relish it, slurped her own, smug. Course, what village girl can't cook? Wash, cook, mend, sole shoes, all basic. Whoever marries me. She paused, glanced at me head down eating. Just waits to be spoiled. Noodles every few days, every which way. The line conjured certain pictures, and I nearly choked, coughing to cover it. The wild woman, no care for what she says, though the noodles are good. Lin Hui, eating, felt much. A bite of poached egg, white tender, yolk running, with the noodles and meat topping. Before, these went to her elder brother, and she got only the noodle water. If only I'd come to Kaohsiung sooner, met Brother Chong sooner, I'd not have suffered at home, watching my parents' faces. Said low, but the quiet room carried it. I split my poached egg and put half in each of their bowls. They moved to put it back. Eat. Look how thin you both are. Eggs are nourishing, I said in a tone of command. You two keep house, wash and cook. I've a gun to work the mountain. I can keep you both. Their noses stung, sourer than Shangshi's aged vinegar. The whole pot of noodles gone, the broth shared out and drunk. After, Lin Hui washed up. Li Dongmei wiped the Kong mat, then took the sewing basket and, by lamplight, mended my clothes. A man forever in the woods wears through fast. Elbows, knees, shoulders thin, holes in the work coat and trousers, and the shorts somehow worn through at the crotch. She found a few washed clean old flour sack panels, rare close, sturdy white cloth, just right for patches, cut pieces to size, and stitched them on. The stitches fine and even, extra rows at the corners, doubled cloth at the elbows and knees. Coat and trousers done, the hold shorts last. She eyed the awkward spot, wrinkled her nose, muttered, "To wear shorts to this state. You're a talent too." Shook her head, fit the last cloth scrap, and stitched it fast. Habit had her turn them inside out to check the threads, and in the lamplight she saw the printing on the patch she'd just sewn, clear, cut from a flour sack. Net weight 20 kilograms. And the line sat, dead center, right at the crotch, the most conspicuous spot. She stared 2 seconds, the meaning landing, flushed scarlet, and a laugh burst up she couldn't hold. PFF. Ha ha. She set the trousers down, clutched her belly, doubled over, near in tears. I came in just then with a basket of firewood and the coal ash, baffled. What's so funny? Cackling like a hen. She got it out, wiping her eyes, pointing at the mended shorts, gasping. You. Look, your precious shorts. Net weight 20 kilos. I picked them up, saw it, and froze. My face a study, awkward and wanting to laugh. This. I scratched my head at the doubled overly Dongmei, helpless. Comrade Dongmei, you min trousers, fine, but you add annotations? Net weight 20 kilos. What do you take me for? An elephant? Not even one's that big. Whose fault is it? Wearing shorts to that state. She managed, still red, and balled the shorts and tossed them to me. Mended. Next time it goes, have your wife sew it. I'm not waiting on you. And turned away snickering. I took them, between laughing and crying. Wear these to the bathhouse and I'd frighten people to death. Lin Hui came in from the dishes, saw one of us red and stifling laughter, the other holding shorts with an odd face. What is it? Li Dongmei pointed. Lin Hui looked, saw the line and the spot, flushed, and, given what she and I had, caught it instantly. Dongmei, how did you sew it? How was I to know? Grabbed the cloth at random, she defended, not having noticed the print faced out. A coincidence. Don't worry, his isn't that big. I scowled. I'm a man, not a draft animal, and even a draft animal couldn't manage a piece of gear that big. That was 20 kilos, for heaven's sake. The childhood, looking at his bird business, it seemed, Li Dongmei would hold over me for life. The teasing done, it was late. No electric light, no entertainment, wash up and sleep. I was quick. Face, teeth, scalding water foot soak, the day's weariness easing. I stripped to my long underwear and burrowed into the warmed quilt with a sigh. Wife and warm calm, this was living. A rustle, the light dimming. Lin Hui and Li Dongmei had hung the old sheet screen at the far end, the lamp behind it, two blurred shapes. A simple night wash with the leftover water. They'd drunk a lot of noodle broth and, mindful of the evening's wolf howl, wouldn't go out to the privy, using the chamber pot indoors, common enough in the hills. The screen came down. The lamp relit them, both flushed and a touch shy. Sleep, Lin Hui said, and blew it out. Dark, only a thread of red from the firebox. I lay with my eyes open at the new paper ceiling. No sleep in me. Last life I'd kept late hours on a phone. This rise and rest rhythm hadn't taken yet, and waking past midnight I couldn't drop off. Thoughts ran in circles, and the even breathing from the Kong head drifted to me. The night before with Lin Hui replayed itself, and a small flame stirred. Yesterday she snuck into my quilt. Tonight she sleeps so quietly, like a cat made to pillow on a fish. I listened, both breaths steady, Li Dongmei with a faint snore, deep asleep, and the thought grew past holding. I eased my arm out, edged toward the Kong head. The Kong was wide, near a person's width between us, and my reach long. I knew the order. Lin Hui in the middle, Li Dongmei by the wall, and in the dark, by memory, slid my hand to the gap of the head-end quilt, lifted it, and reached in. I'll leave the dark there. I'd misjudged it. The hand I found wasn't Lin Hui's. The warmth, the build, the way she stiffened, all wrong, and a low warning came in the black. Touch me again, and I'll cut your hand off. It was Li Dongmei. And then it came to me. She'd gone down to the privy earlier and swapped places with Lin Hui, so I'd reached for the wrong woman entirely. System, you've done it now. My whole body went cold, the heat gone in an instant. I pulled my hand back, heart slamming. The two had changed places without a sound. Mortifying to the bone, and lucky she'd kept her head and only warned me. Had she shouted, it would have been the end of me. I drew back to my own quilt, turned to the wall, and faked sleep, one thought going round. Caught. She'll never let me hear the end of it. Not Lin Hui, Li Dongmei. I curled back into the far quilt, breath held, the cold sweat down my back. When had they swapped without a word? Disgraceful. Thank heaven she'd stayed reasonable and only warned me. Had she roused the room, the scene would have been past saving. And on the Kong head, Li Dongmei lay far from calm. That brief contact, even through cloth, had run through her like current, a strange, strong feeling she'd never known. Never in her life had a man touched her so, and only Chin Chong had ever taken such liberties, twice now. Shame and anger tangled. Shame at her own body's response, and at something, under it, she wouldn't name. Anger at the brazen fool reaching over in the night. And her own fault, she thought, for swapping places and letting him mistake her for Lin Hui. That scoundrel, she cursed inwardly, cheeks burning to the ears. She pressed her legs together, curled small, tried to empty her mind, but the more she fought it, the clearer it stayed. The married women's salty gossip she'd half understood, A woman's dry land wants a man to water it. She dimly began to feel the thirst they meant, and the thought shamed her worse. She buried her head in the quilt and, finally exhausted, slept. Waking at first light, I checked the watch. Just past 6, the two still asleep. I sat up quiet, dressed, took the patched shorts Lee Dongmei had mended, the black characters printed across the crotch, and my mouth twitched. Make do, better than a hole. I folded the bedding, climbed down hunched, a man understands why, put on the layered sole shoes Tian had made, soft, well-fitting, eased the doorbar aside, and stepped out. Cold, clean, plant and earth air. The station's morning very still, far hills and mist, frost on the new leaves, the east reddening. I lit a guantang, a few drags, then round the back to see how yesterday's vegetables did. On the reclaimed plot stood a plastic insulated tunnel. The station nights still hovered near zero until this cold snap passed. Another half-month, and it'd be spring plowing. But the tunnel was another world. The inner film hung with dew, a tap bringing a rain. Through it, green life. Yesterday's seedlings up to a dozen-odd centimeters. I lifted the door flap at one end, and warm air met me, far milder than outside. Small, but I'd built it tall enough to stand and move in. Cucumber, summer squash, eggplant, cabbage, leaves bright, thriving. The northeast beloved string beans showing 4 or 5 leaves past the cotyledons. The tomato seedlings with that smell that took me back to childhood. I was village-born. My grandfather kept a garden every year, and I'd circle it watching for the first tomato to redden. A half-green one's already red inside, sweet-sour, better than any fancy fruit, and mealy-sweet when fully ripe. Nothing like the supermarket's forced preemies. Acceleration uses remaining. 2 use? By the math, 3 days could bring them to harvest. I held off. Only 7 days anyway, and better to keep it low-key, not absurd. System, any task today? Searching. A few seconds. Within 15 minutes, 300 push-ups. Reward 300 myriad value. Treating me like a commando? No pains, no gains. And you and your wife at night. Weren't you quick too? Stop. None of that. I cut it off. For the record, that's frequency, not quick. 300 push-ups, with the pill's strength, shouldn't be hard. Back to the front yard, where Lin Hui and Li Dongmei were up, the bedding folded under the old sheet cover against dust. After yesterday's cleaning and whitewashed, the walls were snow-bright. The home made new. Lin Hui swept the Kong mat with a broom. No floor vinyl in those days, just the woven mat, cheap and wipeable. Those sorghum or reed stalks throw splinters in time, sharp as needles in the skin. Li Dongmei stood at the Kong edge stretching, yawning, sleep still in her eyes. Sister Dongmei, what did you do last night? Slept so long and still yawning? Lin Hui asked, sweeping. She'd come back from the privy and dropped instantly asleep, knowing nothing of the small hours. Li Dongmei's hands paused, her fist tightening. Your man's fault, that's what. But she muttered, nothing. Too much broth. Woke needing the pot a few times, didn't sleep sound. Reasonable enough. Lin Hui nodded and went to start breakfast. I came in just then, my eyes going first to Li Dongmei. Meeting hers. We looked away at once, both uneasy, she reddening and turning to the bedding, leaving me her back. A faint, unspoken awkwardness, both of us silent, busy at our own things. I cleared the firebox, laid kindling, lit it, added split wood, and the room warmed. Fire's going, see to breakfast, I'll go move about. I went out without waiting, the system task to finish. In the cold yard I stripped to a washed pale old singlet. The strengthened body felt no chill, found flat ground, and set to proper push-ups, counting steady, chest near the ground, arms full extended each time. Not hard with the strength, but 300 fast was something. Lin Hui, adding water for porridge, heard the counting, looked out, and startled. Brother Chong, put your clothes on, you'll catch cold. I'm fine, young, plenty of fire. A hunter's body is his capital. She shook her head, unable to dissuade me, and went back, stealing a few more glances, soft-eyed. The village women say there's no field worn out. Only the ox worked to death. At this rate, she thought, her own field might not hold up. Li Dongmei came out with a basin for water, saw me grinding through push-ups. Familiar enough. The village militia drilled them. The singlet sweat stuck to my back, and her face warmed again. She looked away. Then, remembering the night, the settle accounts, thought rose. She set the basin down, crept up, and crouched before my lowered head. At 78, I saw a pair of familiar red cloth shoes appear, and my heart dropped. My pace quickened. She leaned close, low. Chin-chong, not bad. I kept counting, feigning deafness. Don't play deaf. Keep silent, and I'll go in and have a good talk with Lin Hui about whose hand went where last night. That trot on my tail, my rhythm stumbled. No bluffing through. The wild woman might actually do it. Last resort, play dumb. What do you mean? I panted, blank. Comrade Dongmei, thrash about asleep. Did I bump you by accident? Sorry, truly not on purpose. Accident. On purpose. She laughed, not fooled. Who do you take me for, a 3-year-old? An accident with that good aim? Fine, keep acting. I'll go find Lin Hui. She made to rise. No, I shot up. System. Heh, you've really done it now. This system, gloating at the worst moment. Panicked, scared, nowhere to run. I'd been around. I'd seen storms. Don't. Auntie, you'll be the death of me. I blocked her, frantic. Pitch dark. I thought it was Lin Hui. Beat me. Curse me. Your choice. It's nothing to do with her. One man bears his own doing. Seeing me sweating and contrite, her shame and pique somehow drained off. She'd not meant to make trouble, only to scare me and vent. She snorted a laugh, spittle flying to my face. Look at you. I was teasing. Did you think I'd really tattle? I let out a long breath. You scared me to death. I wiped my face. What, disgusted by me? No, just didn't rub it in even. She laughed again behind her hand, then sobered, mock stern. But not again. Next time I'll geld you. Heard, no next time. Who could promise that? I thought, and didn't say. 3-on-1 Kong was inconvenient, plainly. She nodded, satisfied, went for water, then turned back, her face complicated, voice soft. Anyway, it's nothing. I saw yours as a kid too. Humph, call it even. And she scooped water and carried it in without looking back. The night's misunderstanding, it seemed, was let go for now. Countdown 5:36. I dropped and finished, the strengthened body rallying. With 156 left, I ground out all 300. Task complete. Myriad value plus 300, balance 1350. I sat panting, arms aching, then went into the system to exchange. Level 4 had added stock. Daily consumables, soap, toothpaste, towels, foods, bread, biscuits, ham sausage, tins, hairpins and ties, razors, lighters, and spent 500 on goods for today's train. A few minutes rest, a cold water wash, and into breakfast. After breakfast, a faint bronze bell sound drifted in. What's that? Lin Hui listened. Li Dongmei too. Sounds like bells. I took the ring of keys off the wall nail, pulled on my coat. It's the station crew back. I'll open the gate. Every week or 10 days the mule carts come down loaded with timber to the railside at Kaohsiung, unload to await the flat cars, and the crew get 3 days rest before driving back up. I'm the one left to watch, steward, but really more a guard, logging attendance and loads, writing letters and reading the papers for the men, who know I'm a bookish sort no good at heavy work. My place is the station's northwest corner. Just ahead is the Kaohsiung Road, a token gate of timber fencing at the mouth. 200 or 300 meters off, juju-bred mules came on, carts of fodder, a driver beside each. Mules less delicate than horses, more enduring than donkeys. In this age, mule, ox, and donkey were the haulage, only a few regions having trucks. I heaved the fence aside. Over 300 caddies, a 3-man job once, easy now. At the head cart was an old man past 70, a wisp of gray beard, wrapped in old cotton against the cold, a sheep-bone pipe in his mouth. No one knew his name. Kaohsiung called him Old Foreman. The tale went that back in the Qing a logging timber gang had found an abandoned child in a snow hollow and raised him on gruel. And since he liked tagging along chanting the felling cries, they'd named him Little Foreman, who in time became Old Foreman. Grandfather Foreman, you came too? I let his mule in. He climbed down, knocked ash from his coat. He'd been back in Kaohsiung with his old trouble, odd-tempered, but good to me. These old bones still move. Those young calves aren't to be trusted. Last time one called the felling cry wrong and near killed a man. The cry is the experienced read of which way a tree will fall. Get it wrong, and the tree comes down on someone. His breath rattled, but he smiled up at me. The secretary says the station's got new folk. Not bad, lad. Half a month and you've a wife. I scratched my head, sheepish. Long story. We'd been betrothed years. Times got too hard for her at home, and she came all this way to find me. He nodded, understanding in his lined face, drew the last of the pipe, knocked it on his soul. So that's it. She came a long way, don't do wrong by her. When's the wedding? These old bones can still move. I mean to drink your wedding wine. Soon. I'll see the secretary this afternoon, ask him to pick a good day. The old ways aren't forgotten. Weddings want a chosen date. When it's set, I'll tell everyone. 2 tables here at the station, all welcome. Good, settled. He clapped my shoulder. I've 2 redwood Kong chests in my room. Old pieces doing nothing, for you too. Redwood, generous of him. The other carts rolled in, the quiet yard suddenly lively. Mules snorting, wheels creaking, talk and laughter, some carts with whole families, women with babies, half-grown boys leaping down to chase about. A middle-aged man in a washed pale 1965 pattern army greatcoat and cap strode up. About 40, square-faced, dark and weathered, heavy brows, steady-eyed. The station's instructor, Lei Jianjun, a veteran of the Korean War, upright, well-respected. Behind him his wife, Wei Shufin, round-faced, short-haired, in navy-padded clothes, a bundle on her arm, a capable, brisk woman, leading a girl of 4 or 5, 2 thin pigtails, little face cold-reddened, in a thick sweater and floral coat and homemade cotton shoes. The girl lit up at the sight of me, broke from Wei Shufin's hand, and called in a milky voice, "Brother Chong." Warmth in me. I crouched, pinched her cheek, wiped the near-frozen drip from her nose with my sleeve. "Nyonyo's back, cold on the road?" She nodded, then shook her head. By the body's memory, when the instructor and his wife were busy, I'd minded the child, so she was close to me. I dug a fistful of fruit candy from my pocket. "Here, Nyonyo, new things, can't buy them at our co-op." She eyed it, wanting it, but drew her little hand back, shy. "Mama says not to take others' things." A good child. I looked to Wei Shufin, who smiled. "Nyonyo, Brother Chong's not a stranger. Take it, say thank you." "Thank you, Brother Chong." She took the small handful, picked an orange one, fumbled the wrapper off, and instead of eating it turned and toddled on her short legs to old Foreman, holding it up. "Grandfather Foreman, candy, it's sweet." His lined face split in a grin. He bent, tried and failed to lift her, settled for patting her head. "Nyonyo's good, Grandfather won't. You eat it, Grandfather smokes." Only then did she pop it in, eyes squeezing shut at the orange sweetness. Lei Jianjun came up, brows easing into a smile. "Changzi, the secretary told me. Not bad. You sly thing, a wife already. When you hold the wedding, give me word in advance. Your brother Lei's no great man, but I've a little saved. Just say so. Can't do much, but I can put my back into it." Wei Shufin came over too. The couple were good to me. Much help when I first arrived. "That's right. Marriage is a lifetime's matter. Get it properly furnished. I've spare cotton coupons. Take them, buy a few caddies of new cotton at the co-op." In the planned economy, cotton too needed coupons, money alone no good. "And cut a length of red cloth with the happiness character. Mandarin duck pattern if you can, for luck. I'm idle anyway and fair with a needle. I'll make you and Lin Hui 2 new quilts. A bride's bedding should be new." Warmth flooded me. The station was poor, everyone tight, but quick to help when help was needed. "Instructor Lei, Sister Wei, thank you truly. But the money's not needed. I had luck day before yesterday. Took a big bore. The team gave 60 yuan. Kaoshan all knew it. And yesterday, I went to the train with team leader Zhao and made a dozen odd more. The wedding money's about enough. 2 or 3 tables cost little, prices low in that age. First time a green hand at marrying. Though, I looked to Wei Shufin. This wanted an elder's help. "Sister Wei, you've been through it. You know far more than us. I'm at a loss what to prepare. I'll have to trouble you to advise and arrange." "You child, no need to be polite with your Sister Wei. Whatever you need, just say. I'll see you 2 into the bridal chamber smooth and proper." Wei Shufin went in first, opened her bundle, and dug out cotton coupons, 7 or 8 caddies worth together. Little brother, take these. It's not much, only enough for one set of bedding. I didn't refuse. She meant it sincerely, and to keep declining would ring false. Thank you, Sister Wei. I've a new quilt in the room already. This is plenty. If short, I'd find a way. Planned economy though it was. Grain, oil, cotton, soap, even sugar by coupon. With reform near, the supply pinch had eased. Small private trade could be done, and with money in pocket you could swap coupons off others, cloth or cotton, easily enough. Instructor, you two see to things. I'll go round the hills, try for some meat. Past 8, the sun up, the morning frost melted, good hunting time. Go on, don't go far, Lei Jianjun said, parking his cart aside. No loading today, and unhitching the mule, leading it out. The fodder on the cart was essential in this lean season. He watched me go, then frowned faintly. Wife, I feel like Xiangzi's a changed man. Wei Shufan, dusting the room with a feather duster after days away, said, Changed how? He's the same little brother. Not that? The lad wouldn't watch a chicken killed before, and now he takes a gun into the hills. What's strange? Anyone changes. He's made something of himself. She knew his meaning, changed a bit, but the same person, and glanced at him. Why fuss over it? When we married, I was the one who made the first move at night. You didn't dare touch me. At the old account being dragged up, he clapped a hand over her mouth, glancing round. Lucky everyone was busy. Enough, you brazen thing. Say it about, and what's left of my instructor's face. Daring it only because no one was near. Back at my yard, Li Dongmei crouched at the window root, brushing her teeth with a chipped enamel mug, mumbling, foam on the dirt. Inside, Lin Hui had just washed her hair, long wet hair loose, sitting on a low stool by the stove to dry it in the warmth, combing now and then, no cosmetics, just clam oil after washing, natural and plain and lovely. That's the station crew back? I told them, taking the fowling piece and shot bag off the wall. Daytime the men are in the woods. If you're dull, go chat with the wives who've come back. People are social creatures. Instructor Lei's wife, Sister Wei Shufan, is in the second room at the east end, warm-hearted. Anything you don't know or need a hand with, go to her. About to turn, I added, if you dig wild greens, just the near slopes, never the deep mountain. Go together, watch out for each other. Lin Hui paused her combing and turned, wet hair against her fair neck. I caught myself looking too long and drew my eyes back. She rose, stood on tiptoe to my ear, soft. Tonight I'll come to your quilt. I'll see you well fed. Word, then, not like last night, asleep and swapped with Dongmei. I near let it slip, but pulled up. She didn't catch it, only too tired the night before to remember, and promised again. Brother Chong, be careful in the hills. Nothing caught is fine. Just come back safe and not too far, she said, gentle, registered now. I was the family's mainstay. Rest easy, I know my measure. I glanced at Li Dongmei, still spitting rinse water. She looked up, our eyes met, and she snapped hers away, ears reddening, near knocking the doorframe in her haste. I said nothing more, shouldered the gun, and strode out to the slope behind. The near slopes saw too much foot traffic. The hares and pheasants had wised up and kept off. For a catch I'd go where the woods were denser, little walked. I took a faint trodden path northeast, the ground soft with deep humus, silent underfoot. 20-odd minutes, and it grew deep and dim. The larches 5 or 6 stories tall, some needing 2 men's arms to circle. I stopped and opened scouting. Scouting active, well 80, draining. My sixth sense swelled. The slightest stir, the breath of living things, clear even through cover. Soon my eye caught a movement in the grass off to the right. I held my breath, eased behind a thick red pine, and looked, and there in the brush was the quarry I'd take. I'll leave the ogling sight gag the source reaches for. What mattered was the next shot.